Well, hello. Welcome back to Echo and to NEPA here. Apologies for those tech delays. But I think we got things settled out, so yeah, welcome back. And again, I'm Palador, being joined here by Brutus. We got Nails hosting, muted on the cams. Welcome back to the stream. Here we are. First couple of goals scored here by the Tide over in the orange squad. Be Impulse there, trying to make an open shot on the three, but just misses it, as it will be rebounded and tapped in by XA. And X marks the spot at the bottom of the goal on that shot. Very nice.
Very nice indeed. Thanks, Lucy Loves You in the chat saying yay, looks good now. So that's good feedback for us here in the booth. Looks like we got the tech issues at least partially resolved. Super excited to be back with you. Those first 4 points, don't worry about those little guys. We saw XA score a nice 2 there.
Absolutely. These teams here on their stream debut, trying to make some moves, but impress the squad here on the casting side as well as the viewers. I saw those viewer numbers popping up here to begin the hour, and definitely nice to see that support here on the NEPA streams as we keep on going. As Rip Red just managing it from the midline. They're working this offense nice and slow. Still above 4 minutes left in this quarter here, as Voodoo now just surveying the situation, watching for that open spot to develop. A bouncer over to Rip Red with a big shield and a shot off the backboard as well. Quick moves and throws his arms up in the air in celebration.
Yeah, celebrate indeed. Nice goal there coming in over the top from behind. Really nice shot there. Go up by 4 here with 4 minutes left in the first quarter. For those who haven't watched our format for a while, remember it is a 4-quarter format with a rolling score.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The full 4 quarters gameplay there and all the scores carrying over between the rounds just really means that the best team has to be the one that's the most consistent over the course of the full 32 minutes of action. Tasuna over on the midfield trying to get the action going, scoring again off the XA on that tap shot earlier on. See if they can get another one here to bring it within 2 perhaps as they try, but will not buy them the goal. Gigideo resets to Tasuna and they'll go at it again, it looks like. Just again, patient with this gameplay, putting on the brakes. There's the open pass, and perfect to Giggity Gao, and a great assist as well. The patience paying off.
Yeah, I like the assist there. Like the way that they're spreading out within the bubble. Giggity Gao finding that right post, anchoring there, gets the disc, and then puts himself on course for the shot. Finds kind of that bottom pocket getting in underneath the goalie. So really nice goal there. Good teamwork to get that bubble offense set.
All right, Voodoo now a deep clear. That's going to be nearly a goal. Wow, that would have been quite the hit for them. Arch with the recovery. No, make that Rip Red, but maybe rips the cord a little bit too early as it will be sent right back off the ping into Impulse, trying to pong it in on the other side. Dax meeting it, however, rebounded by Jack G, and Jack G now trying to not rush a clear, and I like that idea because there are a couple of midfielders there for an interception. So just going to work it up slow and wait for the lanes to open. So Jack G resetting now to Arch. And Jack G right back again. You can see these teams are both now on these offensive pushes. They're just finding the right passes and they're trying to be patient with it, not getting too caught up in the fast-paced action, which I do like for a opening stream here, especially because with these first matches on stream, oftentimes you can have those nerves and such. So you just want to be calm as you can and not get too caught up in the franticness.
Oh, and almost a really nice assist there. The bounce pass just doesn't quite connect. Really like the way they're spacing things out, though. You talked about the patience, but also they're keeping passing lanes open, and they're finding players on their team to pass it to in open situations. Really, for both teams right now, they're being really patient with that offense.
And the patient gets them the goal there. Giggity Gao off of an assist from Tasuna again. About a minute 24 off the clock since that last joust, so hey, not the highest scoring affair, but a very expertly played series of offensive sets here. And we're going to have a tie, in fact, going into this final minute of the first quarter. So both teams now just trying to establish themselves as Voodoo works it up the floor. Interception, though. Giggity Gao will roll it and maybe go for that bowling ball shot. Rebound to the uncontested Impulse, but contested in the goal. Great save there. Rip Red and Arch now trying to clear it out. And there it is, Rip Red right back again. The stacks all prepped up. That could be an open goal if they get there quickly. Oh, but just overshot. Back to Impulse.
Just out of the reach there. Jack G and Arch had the stack in position, but just couldn't quite get their hand on the disc there. That would have been a great opportunity. Meanwhile, Ottawa does a good job getting that defensive stack back to try and clear things out, but here we are. Daytona right back on offense.
See if they can close it out with maybe the last shot, potentially, of the quarter. Rip Red seeing great potential on that goal from the underside of that goalkeeper. And just beautiful job to get in those lanes, Brutus. And even when the first passes or shots don't work out, if you fill the lanes correctly, like you were mentioning earlier, get that spacing, you're going to be in good position for rebounds even, just like that. So with that, that is the first quarter in the books here. And Daytona Tide claiming their narrow lead of 2.
And with that, we'll send it to a word from our sponsors.
Harley-Davidson builds bikes that are meant to ride. There are vehicles your parents would recommend you drive. Then there are the motorcycles your crazy uncle who gave you fireworks for your birthday tells you to ride. You wouldn't want to let your uncle down, would you? If your need is speed, chrome, and custom paint, check out all of the new and pre-owned bikes at Greenmount Road Harley-Davidson in O'Fallon, Illinois. Don't let your uncle down. Get to Greenmount.
And welcome back. As always, don't forget, NEPA is going Web3 and we'll be issuing NFTs as a way to reward the community. Anybody can claim one of those NFTs, and they will be eligible for future raffles and giveaways that we will be conducting throughout the year. They're free to claim. All you have to do is go fill out a claim form. Those can be found at www.nepavrpro.com/NFT. We've got some fun stuff planned, so don't miss out. You can see there on the screen, we've already had our first raffle, and we had some great giveaway prizes. We'll talk about more here shortly. Right back to you guys.
All right, lots of fun on the way. Certainly, thank you, Nails. And over on to the second quarter, 8 minutes on the clock, a 2-point lead for Daytona Tide. And first, the neutral joust will be Tide, seeing if they can claim that disc. However, that's a challenging part oftentimes with these jousts, as XA does a good job to take it away and passes it out to maybe a deep shot attempt. Impulse, maybe a little too impulsive, in fact, as it will be the boosted stack, getting the disc right back for the offense on Tide.
Yeah, and here's a little bit of that patience we saw in the first quarter. They're getting those passing lanes established. It looked like Ottawa was trying to get a midfield stack set up a little bit in the first quarter. We'll see if they stick with that, because Tide was pretty effective by keeping the passing lanes in position to negate that. Looks like they're going to recover a little bit on defense here.
And again, that patience continues. Rip Red just really gently up the floor, not rushing anything, waiting for the defense to approach first to further drag them out, and they make it in as a result. Exactly how you want to execute that style, just force the defense out, and then it opens things up so much more for your strikers in the goal.
And I just have to point out, what an assist by Jack G. That pass was on the money. Caught Arch slash into the goal. Just absolute perfect placement on that assist.
Absolutely. They're showing the chemistry already here early in this stream, as Suna, who had a couple of assists earlier on, does have it taken away, intercepted, and that will be just over the reach of Rip Red, but right into Jack G. Jack G looking for another assist, perhaps, but no! He snatched there from Giggity Gow, denying it just before it got stunned.
Yeah, great goalie play there. Looked like they had 3 players in the bubble, but can't convert thanks to that great goalie play. But on the other end, we're going to see a 3-pointer out of Tasuna. Nice shot there from the left-hand side. 21 meters on that.
And not only that, 19 meters a second, so hitting the speed caps on the throw itself. Not only fast, but accurate. The double whammy essentially on offense. If you can be both fast and accurate, it's just going to buy so many more opportunities for you, as there will be an opportunity there, but just lost off the barrier, snagged, rebounded by Voodoo. Voodoo having it stolen by XA, right back to Voodoo and XA again. A quick flurry of possession changes as they now encroach on this bubble, but we'll back it out into a soft shot, actually. 13 a second from XA. The goalie just dived out a little bit, but nice placement there to get it past.
Yeah, an aggressive floor defense there. Daytona Tide were really trying to pressure that disc along the floor. It sets up a 1v1 for XA. XA able to capitalize. Beats the goalie on that one for another 2 points. We've got a 1-point game here in quarter too.
And another turnover, though. And Impulse, same results as earlier. We saw those shots go off the barrier, but they will have a rebound and just managed to find a pass. Giggity Gal crossing it over. Beautiful cut, and again, placement precisely where it needed to be.
Nice goal there, and after going into the end of the first quarter down a couple of points, we now see the Ottawa Frost up by 3. Still just under 5 minutes to play here in the second quarter.
And what I really love to see on the stats already is the fact that between Tsuda, Impulse, and Giggity Gal, that's already 6 assists combined in only, 12 minutes of action across these 2 quarters. So really, really doing a good job to find those passes and just aid each other wherever they happen to have a lane open up.
Indeed, and when you have lots of assists, that means lots of players are scoring, and every player has scored for Ottawa already in this match.
And they just did it again. Ottawa Frost absolutely breaking them apart now, just causing turnovers on defense, and they are converting on offense. XA, that time 24 meters deep for a 30-second goal, just about. They are starting to heat up here.
Heat up and stretch the lead, 6 points. They've seen an onslaught. They've got a flurry going. Daytona got to reset their offense. We saw that great patient passing lane style of offense in the first quarter. They haven't really been able to establish that with the defense that Ottawa's been bringing.
Yeah, so they definitely need to start cleaning up a little bit because several turnovers in a row, and we've seen it result in goals over and over and over. Over on out for Impulse. Again, another 3. They're up by 9 points, whereas only a couple of minutes ago, we were just tied. We were locked towards the end of that quarter, and now it's really starting to get away from the Tide. So let's see if they can put some moves together in these last few minutes here, Brutus.
Indeed, and we know how important momentum is in this game. It looked like maybe Daytona had a little bit of momentum going their way. They did have that 2-point lead at the end of the first quarter, but here in the second, Ottawa is hitting on all cylinders, and just like that, Impulse is hitting from 13 meters for yet another 3. They're not just scoring, they're scoring 3s.
Absolutely, an Impulse, a big part of that. 8 points now to lead all players so far in this game. 22-10, and on this joust, I think perhaps what the Tide need to start doing a little bit is, perhaps just finding some shorter passes, or at least trying to get the angles on them. They did have Rip Red playing shorter on the Cloud that time. They still opted for a long heave, though, and I think that's what's been damaging them, is some of these medium to long-range passes. They're just getting picked off, so I think shorter rollouts should be priority perhaps here for Daytona.
Yeah, got to focus on that possession and get themselves onto the blue side, to be honest with you. We saw this quarter open up with that really nice assist from Jack G to Arch when they got close to the bubble. They just haven't established their offense in the midfield to be able to transition onto that offensive side here yet.
Now it will find its way into the bubble. A rare sighting, but a much welcome one. Jack G gets the goal, and with that, breaking some long time ice there. Able to finally capture one and just bring it back to single digits.
Yeah, breaking that ice, so important there, just to, again, try to stop that momentum that seemed to be going all Ottawa way. So really important goal there. Able to sneak it in from 3, brings it to a 13-22 score here as we come up on a minute and a half left in the quarter.
Hey, nothing will get a team going than those open 3s sometimes. When you break that ice, when you see a good shot go in, a lot of the time, that's just the confidence boost you need to start getting some better offense the next time around. So they got it. It's good. Voodoo. That's 2 in a row in the last 30 seconds or so of in-game action. So they have definitely started to recognize maybe the errors and just feeling confident again. Closing out the half the right way. They still got a minute to go, though. And Ottawa Frost, you know they can fire off with the best ones, as we've seen already. So they got to be careful, just not to allow too much more on the offense if they can.
Yes, indeed. But from the Daytona Tide perspective, how important to get these couple of goals. We talked about the momentum. That pendulum swings drastically, but it also swings rapidly. Here in the last 2 minutes of the quarter, they have really found something, and that's going to be important going into halftime, coming up with their strategy for the second half.
And just closing out now, less than 40 seconds remaining. XA opting for a deep clear will look like indeed a turnover. Voodoo, deep heave, too much to the left, but the stack is there. They misread, they split up a little bit too. So this enables Impulse to gather for just the briefest second. Hands it off there to Tsuna. Deep shots, takes an awkward bounce, but rebound. No shot found. Rip Red, and over to the intercept. Impulse, a bounce pass, and Tsuna now inverting, maybe converting, no, left hurting, but XA! And they finally got it to go after all of that effort to close this round and close the half 24-15. Ottawa Frost. With that, we'll take a quick break and word from our sponsors as we go into halftime.
This summer, dinosaurs are in our world.
Pet dinosaur? Don't worry. I'll take care of you. Nice and quiet. Hey, look, it's your mom. Hot dog?
And welcome back to the halftime of the first AAA game of Series 2. All season long, NEPA will be issuing POAPs to anyone who wants to show up to those live broadcasts and fills out the claim form with the secret password. Find the form at www.nepavrpro.com/NFT. Each week, we'll be highlighting a different franchise as a POAP logo. Show up each week and collect all 16 teams. The more you collect, the more potential rewards you can unlock. And that deadline to submit the claim forms at 9 p.m. Eastern on Sunday, June 12th. And this week's secret password is Pro Series Week 1. That's Pro Series Week number 1, the number 1. Back to you guys. We had a pretty close game first half, and then Ottawa Frost just went on a rampage, and here we are. Tell us about it.
Well, here we are in the next round already. The players couldn't wait, apparently, to get going, so no timeouts to be found here. They're just going to keep it going. No breaks. That's okay, because we're breaking loose for maybe the first goal broken through by XA, starting off the third quarter the way that he ended the second, and that's with a score. They're back up by double digits.
And after the goal at the end of the second quarter, and now the first one in the third quarter, XA now leading all scorers with 11. Only 30 seconds in, already got that first goal. Let's see, as you talked about in the second quarter, what the Tide elect to do with the rollouts. I think they've got to get back to that patient passing lane offense a little bit. So far, they're doing a good job on this possession, working it up the field like we saw at the beginning of the second quarter.
Yeah, good work up the floor and salvage by Jack G there. So the defense did get back in time to stun, but again, when you space the lanes correctly on your pushes offensively, you're going, just by its very nature, going to put yourself in position for recoveries as an offense, and perfectly done on what otherwise was a briefly broken up play.
All right, slow down, say that again, Palador. I'm taking notes over here. If the viewers aren't paying attention, that's a pro player giving out free advice right there.
Absolutely. You know what? Sometimes to move forward in Echo, you have to take 2 steps back. Sometimes you have to slow it down before you speed up, in other words. And the case is here, a lot of speed ups going on down the floor, taking it Arch, trying to maybe get an ender on the defender, but was unable to do so. So that's going to be cleared out into the orange lane, bouncing down, bottom of the trench. Goal is covered off by the goalkeepers, retreating into it. They both leave, though. That was nearly a miscue, but maybe that was a plan all along. Baited out, saved by Voodoo, cleared into midfield, and pace is picking up once more. Brutus as Arch looking to get a fast score, and they do.
Yes, they do. Another just well-assisted shot. Jack G finds the narrow angle, though, able to sneak that one in for another 2 points. Really just a high level of action there, a lot of speed there. For our viewers, if you're not catching those stacks and the speed that they're moving at, these guys are playing at a very high level right now.
Absolutely. Again, just slowing it down when appropriate, speeding it up when appropriate. It's basically you're taking what the defense gives you. You're taking what the floor is giving you. Whatever lanes are opening up, whatever defenders are in whatever position they are, you're just kind of playing based on what you're given, not trying to force anything, in other words. And that pass a little strong and under the arm, so it will be a turnover, it's looking like, as Rip Red gathers a disc eventually here. passes it high, looking for that trap to Voodoo. Voodoo the opposite end, well communicated there. Stack now trying to regather. And there you go. See, a lot of times players trying to rise up the ranks and up ladders of the leagues in Echo, they'll be panicked into rushing these clears and things like that. But you can tell the difference in these pro level teams or aspiring pros is that they are so good with just knowing when to reset, back it out. Now
Back it out and clear it out. That's what we see here. It looks like Tide are going to recover and get a clear of their own. So let's see if somebody can gain possession and string together some passes here.
XA, well, gets stunned, unfortunately for him. So that's going to be a deep clear. Stacks gathering now. Impulse and XA, I believe, indeed, with the recovery. So they're there with plenty of time. Meanwhile, there's the defensive stack looming on the cloud, trying to rush just a little bit, and they did force an errant pass that does get picked up by Impulse still. Over to Giggity, over to the tunnel, to Tsuda, and has the angle. Oh yeah, it's in! A tsunami! And waving them goodbye, 34 meters deep.
Tsuda from 34, look at that, what a shot. Caught the top corner, bounced in off of the frame, just an incredible angle there. Really great accuracy on that shot. In a little bit of a back and forth with neither team really establishing passing lanes on that possession. Somebody was going to make the disarray work to their advantage, and Tsuda brings it home. What a nice three.
Highlight-worthy shot for sure here in this stream. We are in the third quarter. Twitch chat, I just to address that, but indeed, third quarter so far, 29-19. I mean, if this was a score after the first quarter, that would be super impressive, wouldn't it? But no, 10-point game, 3 minutes left in this quarter. That's an open three again. Not the same results. Impulse was definitely hot earlier on with those shots, but couldn't nail that one as they get back into midfield now for the Tide. Now, actually, a turnover, takeover to Tsuda. Oh my goodness, again. Midfield this time from the mail slot angle, 39 meters deep. That's some deja vu and deja threes.
Deja threes and averaging 41 meters per. Yeah. I mean, why waste time trying to get closer to the goal when you can score from that far out?
Yeah, I mean, the perfect way to describe it, just far out. That was unbelievable couple of plays, and what a momentum boost that is. Again, the threes by their very nature, those open threes, they can really get a team feeling good, feeling confident, and not to mention just the fact that that extra point on those three-point shots, they do add up. But you get two of those in a row in basically no time at all. That can be so helpful for one team's confidence and so damaging for the others. So looks like we do have a timeout also initiated here. So anything in particular you're noticing, Brutus? Or because we've seen Tide in this position in the second quarter, where in the last few minutes they were able to close that gap. But unfortunately for them, the gap has widened again here in the third quarter, and they're just not really able to find that big enough push, it seems like, to get them tied or in the lead again.
Yeah, well, they capture a little bit of momentum. I mean, their play is there, but the way that Ottawa's hitting threes right now, it's just tough to keep that momentum going. So I think at a really wise timeout here, that each team does get 1 minute timeout per half. I think this is a really good use because the Tide are doing a lot of things right, but they just can't overcome that. So they're going to have to, I think, press their midfield defense a little bit to take away that open goal three-pointer that Ottawa is just completely capitalizing on. And then offensively, they just need to stick with the game plan of getting those passing lanes, keeping spread out throughout the arena to try and negate a little bit of the pressure coming from the Frost, because when they get the disc near the bubble, they've been spot on with their assists. Most of their goals have come very well assisted. Getting a slashing shooter going towards the goal and then hitting them with an accurate pass has been really, really effective for them. So I think they just kind of build on that patient offense because they've still got plenty of time. We're just in the third quarter. They've got over 10 minutes of play. They don't have to get this back all at once, but they do have to find a way to stem the tide of three-pointers coming from the Ottawa side.
Yeah, well said for sure. It's and again, those open threes you mentioned also, just talking about how they add up. Consider all the open threes now we've seen nailed from between Impulse and Antasuna and XA as well. With all those open ones they've had, those extra points in themselves have added up to probably what amounts to this lead. In fact, I mean, it's such a big difference maker, scoring say 5 threes instead of 5 twos. It really gives you such a big kind of emotional advantage, confidence, as well as obviously just the point advantage. But it feels so good sinking those really deep shots and making those also precise passes you mentioned too. My personal favorite part of the game.
Yeah, love to see all those passes. I mean, it's really, I mean, the beauty of this game is the teamwork, right? And when you see teams open up and use the space of the arena to create those passing lanes, it's just really beautiful to watch when people are hitting on all cylinders on that thing. So I think at times both of these teams have done that extremely well tonight. It's when that breaks down that they're running into trouble. So we have seen at times where pressure in the midfield, closing down those passing lanes, can really kind of break up that style of offense. There's been a pendulum swing several times throughout this match of success, both offensively and defensively from that standpoint. Right now, the Tide have to find that offensive momentum to get themselves rolling again.
Well, and rolling we are. Timeouts now over, and let's see if adjustments were made, what adjustments were made, if they can get some successful rollouts here. But more of the same pretty much. Those long passes have definitely been killing them at times. As it will just be now Impulse with a shot. A little bit of a hitch in that one, but no problem at all on the three-point goal. And again, at 35-19 now, those open threes we talked about, Brutus, just a moment ago.
Yeah, open three again. Impulse making that one count. Still plenty of time left with 10 minutes of gameplay as they come out of the two here, but the Tide have got to start pressuring a little bit on the offensive side. And just like that, they're going to have a steal. Nope, Jack G able to recover.
And Tsuna over to Impulse again. Oh my goodness, they are boiling hot at the moment. About to hit that 40-point threshold, and throwback to last season and last Pro Series, for those who remember, that was my rule. If a team is hot enough, if a team is hot enough to get to 40 points, they are probably the team that's going to win most of the time. I think it was only broken maybe once or twice.
I think we had on that game, both teams hit 40, didn't they?
Might have been. I remember the Wizards did it last season once. I can't remember the other team who did, but again, if you hit 40 points or anywhere near there, and especially now, only in the third quarter, I mean, there it is. That is what can you say, a dominant round for them. And Impulse has been doing so much of that offensively on the finishes. 16 points total.
Well, I just think it's weird that they hit 40. They were sitting at 38, and I was thinking, well, there's no way they hit 40 because they're only shooting threes, so they're obviously going to hit 41, not 40. And just like that, Impulse answers with a 2.
Yeah, just unbelievable round so far for them. These turnovers just absolutely killer. There's another open one that nearly gets in itself. That said, rebound there, slapped out by Arch into the wedge. And Impulse again, so now a chance at a final shot to push it up a little bit further. Giggity Gal getting stunned nicely by Arch. Couldn't find the clear yet. Only 13 seconds left, and this will definitely be a final shot attempt or two, as Impulse, I mean, it's been the Impulse quarter. Couldn't finish with that one, but might not matter, because that is a 21-point lead that they're going to close out with. With still another 8 minutes to go in the next, after this quick break, of course, from our sponsors, but we'll be right back.
And welcome back.
Nails.
Double welcome back. What up?
Double welcome. I'm glad I'm welcoming you back. You welcome me back, and then we'll be ready.
Yeah, there you go.
Me back.
Hey, Palador, welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you.
Everybody, thanks for joining us. We are back with Brutus, myself, and the Denver Raptors' very own Palador, bringing you tonight's AAA matchup. Fellas, this has been a crazy, crazy game. Like, I mean, we saw it come out very early where the Ottawa Frost were essentially playing catch-up in the first quarter, and then now we're looking at a 21-point lead with the Frost. Where do you guys think it initially swung there? I think in the second quarter, where they just, whatever that was that they found, that just put them on this wreck train for the rest of the game.
It was basically the cascade effect of those open threes, as mentioned, and really where that's more of the result of what was a lot of turnovers coming off of Tsuda. Thinking out behind the back, that one had to crank the neck. I'm kind of sore just watching it, but these turnovers that are being caused off these jousts. I mean, again, we'll watch what they do here on this offensive joust for the Tide, but a lot of them have been just a series of long passes through the midline and then immediate turnovers afterwards. And there it goes again. And there it is again. Giggity Gow. 45 points now for the Frost.
Yeah, what Palador said. Turnovers off the joust. You just can't have it. And if you're on the receiving end, you're able to get that steal. The Ottawa side has just been spot on with those three-pointers. They're not wasting time. They're not setting up the offense. They're making that steal. They're seeing the open goal, taking the shot, and so far they've been making more than they've been missing.
And we kind of see, again, the turnover off the joust, although Voodoo does recover it. A good job getting back on the defensive line. They're going to reset out. XA taking control from the midline, passing down below. What I love to see here, as that passing play works perfectly, is the fact that even though they've got themselves a big lead, they are still playing fundamentally so sound. They're not getting too outside of themselves and out of their game plan. You can see they started off this whole match prioritizing a lot of great assists, and they're still looking for that when it's available here now in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, they are. They're setting it. They're setting themselves up for success when they have open shots from range. They're taking them. When they don't, they're taking their time though. They're finding the open player. XA getting that goal, but now Jack G with the answer, getting the Tide 2 points here. 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
A good job there from Jack G to score quickly. Of course, just trying to break that ice once again and find some success in the offensive end. Giggity Gal now on the offense, seeing if they can do just the same in a place they have not been in much, which is to say an offensive joust of their own this last quarter or two. It's just been a lot of disc domination from this Blues squad. And here they're just, again, they're sticking with their guns, their game plan. They're not getting too loose or too reckless in the sense that they're still playing very, very strategic and meta. And I like that.
Yeah, I like it indeed. And again, this is night one of a long season that's not going to culminate until September. So everybody getting a lot of good learning out of playing at this high level. So it's just good to see these teams sticking with that, playing to the end, playing to the buzzer, not settling for just sitting back on defense at this point. Ottawa's continuing to do what they do and try and refine their offense, because it's a long grind of a season, as you know better than anyone, Palador. So every opportunity to get better is going to pay dividends when we get to the playoffs.
Oh yeah, and these players on the Tide, I mean, they've been around the block in Echo. They've been at the very high levels of Echo Arena for a long time now, for that matter, and still trying to figure out perhaps the chemistry here and figure out the game plan. But we know they're capable of it. It's just a matter of putting together those puzzle pieces in, as you said, a long season and maybe a long shot, but just intercepted there. Giggity go.
Yeah, no doubt. Daytona Tide have played really, really well. They have certainly had their moments. They have had some great assists tonight, hitting those cutting shooters. I mean, let's not forget they were up 8-6 at the end of the first quarter, really until Ottawa kind of found that three-point run in the second quarter to take a little bit of a lead. This was truly, truly back and forth. So no doubt that all of the players on both of these teams have all the skill level to make it happen. It's just been that Ottawa has been absolutely on fire tonight.
Yeah, absolutely have been. And a little bit of slowdown in scoring in this round in comparison, but they already built themselves such a huge buffer in the first three quarters that it's really not too much trouble, even though it is getting slowed down. And again, a lot of the slowdown is also just the fact that Tide has been willing to back pass, reset, and just play the clock out, which is definitely to their advantage with this kind of point buffer. So I
Able
think
to get back on defense there, get things reset, and now they just strung together 3 beautiful passes, and what does it set up? Another open goal 3. So nice job getting back on D, but then again, finding those open passing lanes, working a disc round. Impulse finds the open shot from 11 meters, another 3 points. They have hit 50. If your rule of 40 wasn't true, I think your rule of 50 is extremely safe.
yeah, that half-century mark, that is a mammoth of a score to have for sure, whether AAA, Pro Series, or otherwise. I think biggest thing here is we do get a pretty nice attempted shot at the very least. They got what they wanted as far as looks go. I think the biggest thing here for Tide is when they review the footage is just definitely finding ways to get some shorter passes in there, especially on those offensive rollouts, because sometimes it depends on team compositions, but if you're going against a team who's just that good, as that shot was almost good. Oh my goodness, not often you see those clouds hit successfully in comp anymore, but almost did it there. But yeah, just figuring out ways to vary out the rollout so that if you are being blitzed off of your launches, your offensive jousts, you still have options that are shorter. It's a different style of play, but it can be effective if you're being too rushed in the midfield. Nice juke there, and gets the oop. Still a big differential here in this fourth quarter, but you still love to see the efforts continue, obviously, as every score you get here, every good passing play, and every positive thing you can take away from this game, there's a carryover effect over the course of the season. You want to be able to at least end a match feeling like, okay, we did our best, we have things to work on, but we have some direction.
Yeah, every player, and for our viewers who are maybe new to the game, you're going to be on both ends of a score like this at some point. Maybe not in a 3-round pub, but at some point you will see this kind of a differential. But you just keep playing your best, you keep playing to the standards of the game, and you get better every time. And no doubt that's going to happen for the Tide here tonight. Both of these teams getting better, and both playing right to the buzzer. So glad to see that that 2-pointer there is a really nice goal. Susana able to get a hand on it, but not enough to keep it out, so it's another 2 points for the Tide.
And how about that 3 points for Tsuna? I don't think it was the intention, but it's the result, certainly, that they wanted. Just bouncing it off that, what looked like initially a pass to the bottom quarter, it turned into a great shot instead, the Oculusator shot. Who I generally credit with being the one, I think, to do it first, way back in 2017-18, on those interesting corners of the bubble. So with that, half a minute left, winding it down, maybe one more shot and look-away move from Jack G will buy them the 2 points, and they get to the quarter-century mark to perhaps end their round right here.
That's right. A couple of goals here at the end of the fourth quarter, like you said, just taking every little bit of goodness that you can out of every time you play. Tide doing that here. They're finding some success here at the end of the match, showing that they can score and that they're able to play with anybody. So really strong finish. Like to see them play into the buzzer here as we wind down the first match of the night.
And it will be 53-25, and congrats to the Ottawa Frost for a very dominant first showing here on stream. Definitely impressed with what I saw. They were accurate. They are team-oriented. Not a lot of things you can point out that was glaring errors by any stretch. They were just really firing on every cylinder, pretty much.
They sure were. You don't get to 53 without, probably. So, yeah, no doubt. I think the difference in the game was just the ability to create turnovers and find open threes, and then when they had those shots to make them. So they really made that kind of second half of the second quarter and really the entirety of the third quarter into that type of a game. They were able to break up off of the joust, get turnovers quickly, and then when they had the open net, they were able to put the disc there. So really, really impressive play. Both of these teams came out, played their hearts out, which is awesome to see. But it's going to be the Ottawa Frost walking away with victory number 1 of Pro Series 2 AAA action.
That's right. And who do you guys think is the MVP for this game?
Oh, that's... I almost want to split it between Tsuna and Impulse. They both just about on equal levels in that second quarter, really lit up that goal with both assists and incredibly accurate long shots to really give them that first massive run of theirs. I think perhaps impulse purely based on the fact that there were more assists, but honestly, it could go either way. They are both really on point with their finishes.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And honestly, if I could give an award to plays, like the assists that they both had, they were both over 5. I didn't catch the stats before they dropped out of the arena for the final stats there, but they were both over 5 on assists as well. But I like your call there. I'm going to go alphabetical order and consolidate it with impulse.
There you
But
have it.
There
you
you
were
go.
right there.
Perfect. And there you have it. Congrats to the Ottawa Frost. Great game to both teams. Don't go anywhere. We're coming right back with the Charlotte Smoke and the Baton Rouge Constellations. We're going to take a quick break, get both teams readied up with some spark links, and then we will bring the action right back to you with their second AAA match of the night. As always, thanks to both our casters. Brutus, Palador, as always, is a great time casting with you guys. Thanks to Muted. They're running the cams and the production. And as always, I'm Nails. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And we'll probably have some more Jurassic Park commercials for you just because. You know why? Because dinosaurs are awesome. Why not? See you guys in a few. What up? Welcome back. It's Nails and Brutus again. Palador had to go take care of some echo business, but you still got the both of us. We are back for the second match of the night. We've got the Charlotte Smoke versus the Baton Rouge Constellations. Did I get that right? I think that's right. Coming to you tonight. It's going to be a great, great time as we roll into the second match of tonight in the AAA Pro Series 1. Brutus, talk to us about them teams.
Yeah, we got teams, and you got it right.
Yeah, yes,
Yeah.
nailed it.
Better to be lucky than good.
Yeah, I'll take it.
So we got the Charlotte Smoke checking in. They are the AAA team for your New England Stack, one of our expansion teams on the pro side. So we talked about during the first match, each pro team now has a AAA team associated with it, and they primarily sub between those two rosters to keep things flowing. So again, Charlotte Stack checking in the Charlotte Smoke checking in. They've got Cats, Dark, Noctum, Shorty, and Brainbot, a recent add to the roster, is who we expect to see over there. And then Baton Rouge is showing up with Draco Mako, Toki, Cosmic, Icy, and Unsound. Expecting a great matchup. These teams have been scrimming together. They've been scrimming with and against their pro affiliates, getting ready for this series too. We saw a very high level of play in our first matchup between the Daytona Tide and the Ottawa Frost. I expect to see more of the same here between Charlotte and Baton Rouge.
Yeah, it's going to be a great matchup tonight. We've been seeing all these new teams coming out, and as a reminder, coming in from the draft, we redrafted all of the NEPA all the AAA teams rolling into this new season, right? So all of that chemistry that the AAA teams had last season kind of got broken up, resorted, and now kind of what we see at the very beginning of the season. Some teams are figuring out that chemistry very quickly. Some of them are taking it. It's going to take them a couple games as they get into this season to kind of get that gameplay strategy back. Work firing on all cylinders. And we saw in the last match, the Ottawa Frost kind of came out initially against the Daytona Tide. The Daytona Tide kind of had their game plan set, getting some points early on the board, but then that kind of started to fall apart once the pressure started being applied from the Ottawa Frost with a couple 3-point runs. Then Ottawa Frost very quickly figured out how to get their team clicking on all cylinders and getting that teamwork to play out in the arena, and it caught the Daytona Tide a little bit off guard. So we'll see how that plays out here tonight with Smoke and the Constellations, but I can guarantee you all these teams have been scrimming, like you talked about, repeatedly, getting ready for the start of this new series tonight.
Yeah, and excited to see the matchup. Excited for these players. They were draft worthy. They got drafted onto these rosters. The professional team captains came up with their pro roster as well as their AAA roster, and it was all by design. To put it in Major League Baseball terms, I mean, literally the players we're watching tonight are one injury or one scheduling conflict away from finding themselves playing up in the pros. So the level of play is just so high, Nails, that it's really, really enjoyable to watch. I'm as excited to watch it as I am to be able to bring it to the viewers, because the amount of broadcasting we're going to do this season is more than double of what we did last year with Series 1, considering the fact that we have 4 expansion teams, which expanded our pro schedule alone, but now we're also able to bring this AAA action. It's just more exposure for more players, and I absolutely love that. Love what we saw in the first match, and can't wait to see what we get out of Charlotte and Baton Rouge here in match 2.
Same. And as we get these teams to ready up, like you talked about, I mean, it's great for us to be able to bring you guys the AAA matches as well this series. And, I was talking to Unsound earlier, and he's promising me some good stats for this game. So I'm super excited to see what he's got in store. And I'm excited to see what both these teams have in store as we roll into this matchup here for the second round match of the night. And as both teams here are practicing up, getting ready to roll. And Faye, if you're watching, go ahead and let them know they are go ahead and ready up, and we will get ready to roll into this match. And just like that, the magic happens, and we're getting ready to get started. And just a reminder for everyone, we do have 4 quarters. They are 8 minutes apiece. The time is cumulative, and each team gets one timeout, one 1-minute timeout per half to burn. If they go into overtime, it will be a golden goal. And as always, no offensive or discriminatory behavior is allowed here in the arena during our Pro and AAA games. And as always, just take that with you wherever you play, whether it's in pubs, scrims, or here in the NEPA arena.
Oh, I hear ready ups.
There it is.
Let's go.
Yes, excellent. And as we get ready to start match number 2 of the night, we've got the Smoke versus Constellations coming out the booth, getting ready to rock, and they are ready to start their Series 2. Brutus, if you don't mind, sir.
Let's go. Let's go.
I love that. And we're out. A quick pickup there by Constellations as a changeover in the neutral zone. They're able to pick that up, but not before BrainBot's able to get a handle on it and break up that offensive play. A lot of good slow movement here, deliberate, as both teams are looking to feel each other out there, trying to get these passes to connect. As Noctum sends one over to the near side tunnel, over to Cats. Cats sends it back to Noctum, and they're trying to slow it down. A little bit of monkey in the middle there, back and forth over the near side. Toki comes in, not having any of that, decides to break it up. Takes a long send, flat bounce. Unsound there to pick it up as promised, and dumps 2 in for the first score of this first quarter.
First score indeed, and what an on-point stack. They were right where they needed to be. Can't blame Toki for taking a long 3. It's just wide, but the stack is right where it needs to be. Able to finish that one off, get the first 2 points in the match. We're now a minute into the first quarter.
That's right, and another break up there in the far side tunnels. Draco Mako picks one up, tries to send it through, gets bobbled up there, still hanging out in the neutral zone. As Shorty picks it up and sends it long into the bubble. Defensive stack comes back in line with the offensive stack, tries to send it far. BrainBot not able to connect. Got a loose disc over there. Icy on the run for it, gets jumped by 2 offenders. Cats trying to make a move, gets stuffed as well. Icy's going to pick back up, reclaim his pride, and try to send it right back out, but not before Noctum gets a hand on it, sends a nice shot there. A little high, not able to connect. Trying to recover and get the reset going. Noctum fighting his way for it there along the floor. A little bit of a scrum. Sends it there behind the goal. Is unsound. Gets a hand on it, but not before. I think that was Shorty is able to send that in. And then we got ourselves a tie game.
We got ourselves a tie game. We've had 1 goal for each team in each of the first 2 minutes of this quarter. Getting off to a really fast-paced start here, Nails. Neither team afraid to slow it down and look for the passing lanes, but it's really kind of been an aggressive matchup so far.
It has, and both teams are coming out firing on all cylinders. And what we saw in the last game, the ability to make those passes connect, right, is really what is going to make the magic happen and get your team where they need to be down in the opposite team's bubble. As Icy sends one along the floor there, nice pass to Draco Mako, tries to come back in. Toki gets a hand on it, go ahead and dumps it in, and they are up by 2.
Up by 2. Nice series of passing there. A little bit of a scrim there at the midfield, but ultimately Baton Rouge able to maintain disc, get a couple of good passes there, get the finish. They're now up 4-2.
The Joust advantage, Smoke coming out. BrainBot over there in the far side tunnel sends it right back to Noctum, who's quarterbacking for the team there on this Joust advantage. Sends it right back over to Cats on the near side, and they are really slowing it down, taking their time. I like the reads. I like the arena awareness. As BrainBot down from the bottom, goes to the far side boot, not able to make it happen. Go ahead and dumps it right back to Noctum. Noctum finds some breathing room, sends it right over to Cats there, and the Smoke are doing a really good job. A lot of good passes here, connecting. Really good disc control, maintaining possession as they're taking their time and the patience to work their way inside the bubble. Noctum sends it right back up to Cats. Cats coming in from the back, not able to connect. We got ourselves a loose disc here. Slap over, but Draco Mako's going to be there to pick it up. He's going to clear it out down through the valley, and we are right back over on Smoke's side of the arena as Unsound comes barreling through off a stack, picks it up, can't quite connect on the goal, but they are real close to the Smoke's bubble.
Yeah, able to get the stacks down there. They had a real nice chance there on offense, but the defense was there waiting. There was a two-ship there on the Charlotte side waiting, able to get it cleared out. Now Shorty's going to try and work this one forward. They've got a stack on the far side. Let's see what they can do with it. Open goal. Can they collect the disc?
Oh, before they can get there, Icy moves in off a defensive stack. Just took a little bit too long. Couldn't quite get that shallow angle. And right as he's moving out to take that shot, Icy comes in, breaks it up. But they did good work. Smoke bringing it back in as Brainbot coming in from the back. Toki's going to break it up again and send it right back outside the bubble. Icy tries to get a hand on it. Can't quite grab it. Here comes Noctum picking it right back up to Shorty. Bringing it right inside the bubble from the near side pillar. And he's going to take a nice little bounce shot there for 2. We got ourselves a tie game again.
Shorty with a nice goal there. Just so exciting to watch, Nails. Both of these teams just seem to be making defensive plays at the last second when they absolutely have to. I keep thinking there's going to be an open net shot, and it just doesn't happen because the defense is recovering so well. It's making for great excitement here.
That is, and you know as well as I do, those open goals are killers. Start putting points on the board, and they can really start to break down the mentality of your team. They've been doing a good job on both sides of making each team work their way inside the bubble there. Another great save by Toki, and then another one by Unsound, coming right back in front of the goal. 2 crucial stops here to break up this offensive play from the Smoke. We got ourselves a scrum over here in the near side tunnel. Shorty comes in swinging, tries to walk away from it, but Toki recovers and sends it right back inside the bubble, but not before Cats can recover. Try to get it back out. Again, gets stunned out by Draco, and Draco finishes the push for another 2 points here. Relentless offense coming out of the Constellations.
Relentless indeed.
Still there, buddy?
Yeah, man, I'm with you.
All right. And the Joust advantage, that was a end statement. In transmission?
It was.
Okay,
Was.
got it.
Yeah.
You didn't say over.
Yeah.
You didn't say over,
Yeah.
so I didn't know if you were done.
I'm done. Over.
Cats sitting along the floor to Brainbot. Brainbot's moving out. Oh, tries to get a back pass. Toki with the long arms going to pick that up, send it right through the far side tunnel. And here comes the offensive stack. Unsound, looking for the long shot. A little bit wide, can't connect. The defense is going to collect in the bubble there and look to push to a transition. Knocked him over there in the far side tunnel. Here comes the offensive stack. Starts looking for his boys down there far side in the bubble. Cats and a nice pickup down there at the bottom. Elects to drop it back to Knocked. Tries to send it to the top of the goal. Can't quite get there. Nice scrum as Cats tries to pick one up for another shot there. He gets denied by the rim as Brainbot comes out to pick up and drop it back to Shorty as the Smoke reset.
Yeah, nice patience there. They worked their way in for a shot. The best goalie in the league, the frame there, denied the first shot, but they're able to maintain possession. They try to work it back to the bubble, but there's Draco Mako with a great defensive play. He's going to get it cleared out. Let's see who wins the stack race.
And here comes the Smoke there. Great defensive plays coming out of the Constellations. They are doing a great job here of just stymieing the Smoke offense. Still a very, very close game, only 2 points, but there are a lot of opportunities, shot opportunities that the Smoke have had, and shots that they have taken there that are getting just stuffed by that defense, that bubble defense that the Constellations are working. And Shorty, to make me eat my words, keeps the disc and walks it in, finds the lane, and threads the needle to put those points on the board they've been working so hard for.
If you can assist, score, I guess.
Yeah. Hey,
It's almost like they set that shot up because they've been working the floor. They've been trying to get a pass down to the floor and then look for assists from there. I think the defense was keyed in on that, and Shorty found an open lane in the left pocket, able to send that one home, get things tied back up. Really nice goal there.
That's exactly what they needed here going into the end of the first quarter. And that'll take us to the end of the first quarter with the tie game 6-6. We'll be right back with a quick word from our sponsors.
When does an underdog stop being an underdog? After the first big win? The second? Try never. Because being an underdog isn't about how much you win. It's about how hard you're willing to work for it. And making sure your opponents never know your next move. Which is why some of us make a point of staying underdogs, even when we're on top. Ram Trucks, J.D. Power's #1 brand in new vehicle quality.
And welcome back. Do not forget, all season long, NEPA's going Web 3, and they'll be issuing NFTs as a way to reward the community. You can see there on the screen who's already been rewarded off the raffles we've had. Anyone who claims these NFTs will be eligible for future raffles and giveaways that we'll be conducting throughout the year. They're free to claim. All you have to do is go out and fill out a claim form that can be found on our website on www.nepavrpro.com/NFT. We've got some fun stuff planned, so don't miss out. And yeah, that's right. You're reading that correctly. Somebody won an all expenses paid trip to the next LAN event for 2. Boom.
I'm so disappointed I didn't win that. What a huge prize. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's going to be amazing. And if you guys weren't there, the LAN event is going to be amazing. Yes, you want to get some POAPs so that you can get in on this raffle. And we are back for the second quarter here as a tie game between the Smoke and the Constellation as they battle it out here for supremacy in the first game for them of the Pro Series 2 for the AAA. Nice slap away there by BrainBot. We got ourselves a loose disc down by the far side boot. Cat picks it up and then gets it back to Noctum. Noctum's going to kick it back to Shorty, and they're going to reset here as a Smoke. Look to use a lot of that very good, concise passing that we saw before. A little bit of double stun right there in the center. We got ourselves a loose disc. Shorty's going to pick it back up and make it happen. Sends it to BrainBot as they try to get that passing streak going again. Again, tries to send one from the back, but Toki's there to break it up. Icy looking around, looking for somebody to clear it too as the stack gets ready, and here comes the stack down the arena. Not quite able to get there in time as the defense beats him to it. Smoker going to reset and send it right back over to the blue side of the arena.
Just-in-time defense has been the name of this game. What an amazing play. I think it was Icy who got back and cleaned that last one up, but just both of these teams doing really well with the defensive stacks to get people back. Every time I think there's going to be an open net goal, the stack shows up and finds a way to deny the shot.
That's right. And you know, you guys will see on the playback, for those of you who aren't familiar with Echo, you know, a lot of the players as they're, oh, nice shot there, denied by the rim. Here comes Unsound again, sends another one, denied by the rim, not quite able to connect. And here comes that Constellation offense, never quitting, never stopping as Draco Mako comes along the floor, sends it to Toki. Toki tries to eye the pocket, can't quite make it happen, gets denied by the rim again. And the Constellation are just ringing the doorbell here consistently over on the Smoke side of the arena. But for all our new watchers out there, you'll see a lot of the players as they're moving their way down the arena, especially as they are picking up a loose disc, they'll be checking their 6 o'clock to see if that stack's on the way, because those stacks show up in a hurry. And that's how you bring that pressure and capitalize on these clears as well as these loose discs, is having those stacks ready. And here comes the stack for the Smoke. And just like that, capitalizing on an empty goal, knocked them for 3, taking them up to a 3-point lead in the first score of the second quarter.
And those empty goals have been hard to come by. When you get the opportunity, you better make it count. Noctum does exactly that, taking a 3-point lead here as they come back out for the joust advantage now over Baton Rouge.
Constellation look for an answer as Unsound comes out as a QB, going to slow it down. And the Constellation been doing a great job of bringing a very aggressive offense, and we saw 3 shot attempts there on that last series, weren't quite able to connect. So they are not far from taking this game back here and back to a tie and or taking the lead as they try to make that pass connect. It's going to get broken up. Katz is going to send it long, gets denied by the shield. Toki's there to clean it up. Claim it, send back to Unsound, and the top of the neutral zone gets denied by the shield again, but nice bounce, picking up his own bounce pass to himself. We'll call that planned. And Draco Mako coming right back. We've got 3 Constellation players inside the bubble, and Draco Mako with 2 options for passes, going to take that in and get some dunk meta for 2 points.
Yeah, and I see you in the chat, Phenom. 3 points, the biggest lead so far. You knew it wasn't going to last long. We're back to 1 point already. But I do want to say to the chat, I saw Juicier, I saw Mother, a couple of people commenting. Bringing the AAA action to NEPA TV is something we are so excited about. I just can never get too much Echo. I always need more, and I'm super excited as part of the NEPA TV staff to be able to bring these matches, and I'm even more excited, Nails, for the players that we're able to get them on air. These players are pro-worthy. They were drafted. They're on a AAA roster, but they are going to get their chance in the pros at some point this season, no doubt. And I'm just super excited. I mean, look at this level of play. We got a 1-point match halfway through the second quarter. Love it.
That's right, and we got some great fast gameplay here as both teams are just bringing 100% here, playing defense, playing offense. Some great turnovers here as we see another one from the Constellations. They send one long. Unsound tries to get a hand on it, can't get there. Now he's got to fight Brainbot there in the near side tunnel. Brainbot's going to beat him to it, slap it over there into the bubble, but not before Draco Mako can get a hand on it and send it right back out. Icy looking to find some breathing room, tries to send it long to the far side tunnel. Nice grab. Toki's going to be able to get there in time. Send it right back down to Draco Mako, looking for the open goal on the bank shot. Pulling 3 points out of the ATM, taking Constellation up by 2. I'm not good at math. We know this. None of you. I'm going to stop apologizing. None of you should be surprised that my math skills are terrible.
No, but we enjoy it every time when you try and fail. So just keep it coming. I feel like we missed an opportunity there, Nails. Is the bank open?
The bank is always open. Sometimes. Sometimes always. Maybe. 60% of the time, the bank is always open.
It's never open for us. It's more often than not open for these players.
It is.
Just like that, the stack is there. So we saw through the first quarter and really the beginning here of the second quarter that just-in-time defense. All of a sudden, just-in-time is not in time. Draco Mako slams it in for another 2 points.
That's right, taking the Constellation to a 4-point lead. And only 4 points, but anybody who plays Echo will tell you, any point deficit is going to be weighing on the back of your mind there. It's going to put you in a little bit more of a pressure situation. You're going to be looking for maybe taking a little bit more passes that aren't necessarily as clean as you would like to see because you're trying to force that disc forward. And here they come. As Shorty comes in from the pillar, reclaims his own disc there, sends it over to Cats, and Cats going to tap it in for 2. And just like that, they're back within 2. And then, like we were talking about, you saw on that play, not quite as clean with the smoke passing and movement and disc control on the way into the blue side bubble, but they were able to make it happen, and they took those risks in order to put those 2 points on board.
You want to score big, you got to take risks like that. And yeah, definitely make them pay. We are back to a 2-point match here. Just love the back and forth of this match. Super evenly matched so far. Just when you think one team's going to capture a little bit of momentum, the other team steps up and scores another goal. So really, really great back and forth going on right now.
That's right, and here comes Constellation trying to push their way inside the bubble there, getting broke up. You see Toki hanging around, waiting for a quick turnover to capitalize on a transition. Not quite able to make it happen there as Noctum cleans it up in the neutral zone, tries to send it inside the bubble, takes a bad bounce there off of the nest. Brainbot's not going to be able to get to it, but here comes the defensive stack coming right back to grab it, and Shorty gets a hand on it. There's Toki again, waiting for his chance to pounce as the disc is back inside the blue bubble. Another good clear coming out by Draco Mako as they're trying to find, as the smoke are trying to find an answer here to move this disc inside the bubble and connect. On the short game, here comes Noctum, gets stunned out just in front of the shield. Can't quite make it happen.
Can't quite make it happen, but again, the flurry of action is just so impressive. Another nice defensive stack as we get the smoke recovered into the bubble. We're going to see a reset here. Constellations looking to get something set up. We're inside the 30 seconds, looking for that one last goal. Great goalie play there. Noctum able to get a hand on the disc, get it cleared out there. Can't quite get it through the midfield, though.
And they have got their number here as we come into the last 7 seconds as the Constellation looking to hold on to that 2-point lead here, trying to bring more pressure over onto the offensive side, and that's going to take them to the end of the half. And we got ourselves a 2-point game with the Constellation up by 2 over the smoke. We'll take you to a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with some halftime analysis.
This summer, dinosaurs are in our world.
Pet dinosaur? Don't worry. I'll take care of you. Nice and quiet. Hey, look, it's your mom. Hot dog?
And welcome back. For those of you looking to claim this week's PO app that we've been talking about, head on over to www.nepavrpro.com/NFT to fill out the PO app claim form. In order to complete the claim, you will have to, your form's going to need a secret password. And for this week, the secret password is Pro Series Week 1. That's the word Pro Series Week and the number 1. Pro Series Week 1. The deadline to submit the claim form is 9 p.m. Eastern on Sunday, June 12th. So get those in and then get into that raffle. And coming back to the action, we've got ourselves a 2-point game here. My man, Brutus. Dude, this has been a knockdown, drag-out slugfest for this first half. We've got 11-13 after 16 minutes of play with multiple turnovers from both teams, multiple stuns from both teams, and I can't tell you which team I think is really edging out the other one, because I think the Smoke has been doing a good job of bringing some good offensive pushes, but the Constellation have really been playing a great defense. And then I can pretty much say the same about the Smoke as well. They're doing a good job of crowding the bubble there and forcing the Constellation to try and take some of those corner shots, and they're getting denied by the rim. And then at the same token, the Constellation have been, just stymieing a bunch of offensive pushes coming out of the Smoke.
Yeah, really great play out of both teams. That's why we get a match this close. Hang on one second. I'm just finishing up at nepavrpro.com/NFT. Okay, good. I'm registered. It has been super back and forth. It really started out defensively, both of these teams kind of being in position. That first quarter, relatively low scoring with a lot of good defensive play, but we did get some points on the board. I think really the difference here has been Draco Mako getting the hot hand. He's got 9 points here of the 13 over on the Baton Rouge side. So he's doing a really nice job over on the Constellations. Things a little bit more even over on the Charlotte Smoke side as far as the scoring and the assists go. But really, I think the highlight for me so far has been the defense, because when the defensive stacks are on point, it's just been completely disruptive, and the goals have been a little bit hard to come by. So through 16 minutes of play, we're at just 13-11. And that doesn't speak to the level of action that we've seen, because the action has been super, super high. There have just been a lot of what looked like empty nets closed quickly by a defensive stack, and then saves being made in a timely fashion. That's made for great action as we take this 2-point lead into the second half.
Yeah, and I mean, we've got over on the Constellation, we've got Unsound with 3 saves and 30 stuns, and then over on the Smoke, we've got Brainbot with 3 saves and 19 stuns, Shorty with 31 stuns. And in both these teams, I mean, they're about tied there for possession, but slightly edging the Smoke out. Constellation have a little bit more shots there, but the stuns for both these teams are well in the double digits, 150-ish stuns, 160-ish stuns already between both these teams for this game. And as we know, stuns are what's going to break up those stacks, and we've seen both these teams have some really good stacks, and if they can get them bottled up there in the backfield on a good clear, we're seeing them being able to take a little bit of an advantage there, get inside the bubble and start to work their way in for those 2-pointers. We've seen a couple 3-pointers so far.
Yeah, and super interesting that of a very evenly matched game, taking a look at the statistics, the biggest differentials are in assists and steals, and both of those are fairly heavily favored by the team that's in the lead right now. So the Constellation's currently winning in assists 60-40, and then in steals actually 85-15. So pretty big difference there. It's only equated to 2 points on the board, but they're making those 2 key categories count, and at least they're going into the second half with a slight lead there. Still anybody's match with plenty of time to play. We've seen super even matching. The defense has been there. Let's see if either one of these teams can truly kind of settle into their offense and get a little bit of a run. We see momentum play into these games so much. I wouldn't say either of these teams has been able to grasp a true offensive momentum because of the way the defenses have been playing. It'll be interesting to see as they strategize going here into the second half if either team can get something set up to get a consistent enough offensive side to be able to gain that all-important momentum swing.
That's right. And both teams have been doing a great job of transitioning on those turnovers to pick up that defensive play, which you don't see a whole lot. And it's really impressive to see both these teams have such a great do such a great job of transitioning there from offense to defense or vice versa. As Icy tries to pick it up along the ceiling, gets broken up by Brainbot. Quick disc there. It's free. Unsound's going to come right back and hit the mute button for the entire team. Put a three-pointer in from 16 meters at 18 meters per second, winging it, putting them up by 5, and that may be the momentum swing that you were talking about there, Brutus.
Yeah, well, 3 points will get you there in a hurry. We have not seen empty nets very often in this match. That was a really nice play coming off of the ceiling, seeing that shooting lane and then making it count. We did see some missed three-pointers from range from both of these sides in the first half. So far, 1 for 1 for the Constellations, puts them up 16-11.
That's right, and Brainbot coming forward, looking to slow it down here for the Smoke as they try to close this gap and come back with an answer here at the start of the second half. Nice pass there to the ceiling. Shorty's going to kick it back to Brainbot. Brainbot with the read, puts a sniper scope on and finds that top pocket for another 2 points, bringing him right back in within 3.
That's right, gets the disc. He's inside of 5 meters when he takes that shot, ends up scoring it from 4. So a really nice job getting him the disc inside the bubble, and an all-important answer after that big 3 to open up the second half. They get right back on the board and bring it back to within 3.
And that was a great read to send that pass to the top of the clock there behind the goal so that they could get that over to, who was that, Brainbot? I think that scored on that one. I've already forgotten. As Icy kicks it right back over to Unsound. Unsound moving it in, tries to send it down below the shield, but gets stunned out. Loose disc resulting, and the Smoke are going to go ahead and clear that out. We got ourselves a loose disc at the bottom of the blue side bubble. Here comes Unsound, picking it up, gets there just before the offense. Nice fling back there to get it cleared out. But it's going to get stopped short there by Shorty. It sends it right back to the front. Brainbot's going to pick it up to the ceiling, slow it down over to the far side shoulder, tries to bring it back in. Toki's going to deny him and send it through the far side tunnel. We got ourselves another loose disc. Wait for the stacks to come down again as the Constellations do a great job of trying to bottle up the Smoke's return stacks or defensive stacks, trying to get back. Not quite able to capitalize there on a 1v1 inside the goal.
Yeah, the shot was there, just went a little bit wide. The goalie did make the way back, so there was a small window there, not able to connect, and now we see things swinging back. Charlotte Smoke working up to the offensive bubble, and just like that, Shorty able to get it over to Brainbot, 4 meters out, another 2 points. We are back to a 1-point match, Nails.
Back within 1. Here we go, and these teams are so evenly matched. It's very, very impressive, and it's great to watch, and I'm sure everybody's having a good time watching it. This is what we're here for. Come see this kind of action as Unsound comes out on the QB. 2-man stack of Brainbot and Shorty right there to meet him there on the bow tie, waiting very patiently for him to send it out, and it's going to be rewarded as they take a 2-man stack back to break that up, send it right back inside the bubble. Here comes Knocked him, empty, goal for 2, and they are up by 1.
What a great example of the defensive stack. They nestled themselves behind Ness. They waited for the first pass to go out. They're able to disrupt it, get the turnover, and then turn it into a quick 2. Great shot. Charlotte Smoke back in the lead. Knocked them, and Shorty doing great stack work there.
And Toki coming on a read there from Unsound. Icy down. Oh, gets denied by the rim again. They've been hearing that sound a lot tonight. It's got to be frustrating. Icy trying to kick it back for a reset. Nice read by Unsound there to stun out the defender. Regain control. Sends it over to Draco. Down to the floor. Icy to Toki. Toki sends it in. Knocked him. Gets a hand on it there right off the ding. And that is going to go in anyways for 2 points, taking them right back up by 1.
Love that aggressive play there. Just stuck with the disc, refused to give up on it, and ultimately pays off with another 2 points. We have yet another lead change in this matchup as we now see the Charlotte Smoke come out on a joust.
And both these teams are just trading shots here, trading offensive pushes. Shorty sent another one there. A nice break up there from Icy. Sends it right back out to Toki. Toki's going to send it to the far side tunnel. And we just need one of these teams just needs to continue that push and get on a run, get on a back-to-back score here to kind of create some breathing room and force the other team to work for 2 goals to go ahead and close that gap. A nice read there, not quite able to connect as the Constellation are going to send it right back out. Here comes the offensive chain of Icy and Draco Mako. Bad bounce there, but Icy's able to pick it back up. Tries to send it to Draco over the top. Gets denied by Geo, and here comes Unsound on the cleanup. Sends it right back into the goal, but Noctum's there to read it. Going to send it right back out through the center, and it's a 1v2 over on the far side. On the leech, nice work. Draco sends it right back to Icy. Icy's going to try to send it in, gets denied by the barrier just over the top there, and not quite able to connect. That was an open goal, and that lack of a 3 there is going to sting, but Unsound's going to recover here and try to reset.
They're going to try to reset, but we'll see what they can do against this defense. Just really love the aggressive defensive style both of these teams are playing in this matchup. What great excitement they're creating.
Oh, yeah, and Unsound, again, with a great clear. He is everywhere, just doing some amazing defense, working for it. And another shot there inside the bubble, can't quite connect. Need to see a little bit more rebound plays there coming out of the Constellation so they can clean up those missed shots once they're inside the bubble. And there's nobody there. Ooh, long sail, but Shorty's going to be there to clean it up. Tries to send on a shallow from the floor, not able to connect off the empty goal, and that's going to get denied. That's going to sting as well, as the Constellation clear it back out through the far side tunnel. Here comes the offensive chain, and by himself, coming right back in. Icy trying to close it out, not able to make it happen. Oh, I'm sorry, that was Draco Mako trying to close it out, not able to make it happen. Toki's going to pick it back up and send it right back through.
That was back-to-back. Each team had an opportunity with what looked like an open goal, but before they can get something to connect, the defensive stack is there, and goalies are making saves when they have to. Just unbelievably reactive defense getting things done right now in a very even match.
And it just goes to show, upside down with the dunk meta on the NBA Jam. Draco Mako coming in from the floor off a nice send from Unsound for 2. Take him up by 3. And to your point, Brutus, both of these defenses have been playing very, very calm and collected. Like, you don't see them get rattled when it's a 1v2 inside the bubble and they're waiting for the rest of the defense to get back and help them out. They stay calm. They figure out who's got the disc. They make very smart moves. They come in swinging, and they're doing a great job of just slowing down that offensive push in order for the rest of the defense to get back and continue breaking up the play. Unsound coming in again from the nest. Noctum gets a hand on it, can't stop it for another 2 points.
And a 5-point spread. I think that matches our biggest lead of the game. There's only a few seconds left here to finish out the third quarter, so if Charlotte's going to do something this quarter, they're going to have to do it quick. Otherwise, we're going to see the biggest lead of our match going into the fourth quarter, but this is back and forth all day. I cannot wait to see what happens in the fourth quarter here as we get one last shot that sails just wide. Charlotte Smoke unable to connect on that one. We're going to our third intermission. What a great matchup, Nails.
Oh, it's been incredible. We'll go to a quick commercial break, and we'll come right back for the fourth and final quarter of this game. And welcome back. We are back for the fourth quarter of the Charlotte Smoke versus the Baton Rouge Constellations. We've got ourselves a 5-point game now, and this game has been neck and neck the entire time. In fact, it still is neck and neck. And we saw the Constellation pull out a little bit of a lead here. We'll see what the Smoke do with it. Brutus, what do you think is going to happen here in the fourth quarter?
Well, it's going to be interesting to see because we talked so much about could either of these teams capture a little bit of momentum and have that carry on for more than 1 or 2 goals. We've now seen that. The Constellations have got it done. They've built a 5-point lead. Still 8 minutes to play, so anybody's match. But how did the Charlotte Smoke kind of regroup here coming into the fourth quarter, get the momentum back on their side? The defensive aggressiveness has all been there. Charlotte Smoke got to find a way to put points on the board here quick, because time's going to start running out. This has been a low-scoring affair. To expect a flurry of goals, I think, is unrealistic the way that the Baton Rouge Constellations have been playing defense, so they're going to have to make every possession count.
That's right, and we'll see what they come up with here as the Constellation win that neutral joust. Icy trying to send one there across the center. Can't connect. Gets denied by the nest. Shorty's going to pick it up. Send a nice read there to Katz. Here comes the offensive chain. Katz sends it long, sailing to Brainbot off a great read and amazing arena awareness to toss that in at 7 meters just outside the bubble for a three-pointer. Great play there.
Yeah, we talked about the importance of each possession. A really nice job there. They moved that very efficiently up the left-hand side. They get the disc right where it needs to be, just outside of the bubble, getting that three-pointer. We are right back to 2 points. Are you kidding me? I mean, we have spent the vast majority of this game within 3 points. What a great matchup.
It is, and both teams fighting for every inch there. Long shot by Icy on an empty goal. Can't connect. That three's going to hurt him as we're rolling here to the 7-minute mark here in the fourth quarter. Tries to send it in short. He's going to send it long. Katz looking for the bounce. Not quite able to connect, but here comes Draco Mako. Under attack by Katz. Forced to send it, and Brainbot's going to send it right back down again on the bounce. Can't quite connect for the three, but here comes Katz on the two-man chain. Empty goal, and just like that, they're back up by one. Off of a 5-point deficit, rolled into the fourth quarter. I don't know what they talked about during the intermission there between the third and fourth quarter, but whatever it is working.
Well, I asked the question going into the fourth quarter, how were they going to respond to being down by the most points of the entire match? Well, they have responded quite well with 2 3-pointers. They brought a 5-point deficit into the fourth. They're now up by 1. What a great swing for the Charlotte Smoke. Now it's Baton Rouge who's got to find a way to answer.
And Katz, again on the recovery through the far side, tries to send it to Shorty. A little bit off there on the pass. Takes a bad bounce, and it's going to go right back through the near side tunnel, but here comes the defensive chains there to pick it up. Knocked him on the great read. Tries to send it out. Draco Mako's there to answer. Here comes Unsound. Again, turning the music off. 2 points. They're back up by 1.
Oh, what a clean shot that was. I tell you what, Draco Mako made a nice short pass there. I thought they were going to set up the offense, but Unsound sees the shooting window. He takes the shot because he had it nails, and he made it count.
That's right, and the chat is correct. This is going to come down to the wire. I have no doubt about it. 5.5 minutes here left in the fourth quarter as Draco picks up that loose disc, sends it right back through the center. Can't connect, though. We got a loose disc to Smoke as Toki comes in, threads the needle between both those defenders, picks it up, tries to flick it back through to the orange side of the arena, but Noctum's there to deny him. Recover and reset the play over to Brainbot. Brainbot's going to kick it to Katz. Meow coming in, looking for a friend. Sends it right back to the back line as Noctum picks it up and is going to look to slow the play down.
Love the patience here. It's been such a flurry throughout the quarter. We know that every possession means so much right now. I like that they slow things down. They're just not able to connect there. They get the disc into the bubble but can't make it count. Now Unsound's going to have a chance to collect this one. Goalie is back.
Unsound checking his 6. Brings it into Icy. It's a 2v1. Icy's moving around by the clock. Makes it happen on a great read with a quick juke there on a nice shallow angle. Is going to send it in for 2 points, and I'll take it up by 3 points. Regardless of what happens in this game, these are two teams that you're going to want to watch for the rest of this AAA season. Like, they are remaining cool, calm, and collected, and it is fantastic to watch, you know, with such a close game.
Yeah, close game, all the pressure on. It's coming down to every single possession here in the fourth quarter, and you're right now. It's like great play by Icy there, a little juke and a little jive, and he's able to put it in. Now stretching the lead to 3 points. Still got half of this quarter to go. Anybody's match as Noctum looks to reset things, get the offense set up at the bubble.
And coming in from the nest, Brainbot on the duck, comes in for 2. That'll take him back within 1. Brainbot, nice work there. Just reading the defense, finding the cover with the Geo, and then working his way into the bubble there and threading the needle.
Yeah, a really nice job there. Individual effort, able to get that one in, bring it back to within 1 point. Brainbot having an outstanding match here. To all of our PDR viewers out there, keep playing, keep getting better, wait for your shot. Brainbot was a last-minute addition to this roster, and he has actually been playing outstanding tonight. We know there are lots of players who deserve their opportunity in AAA. We are going to find that opportunity for you. You've just got to be ready at the right time when a team needs to pick you up. Brainbot taking every single advantage of his opportunity tonight.
That's right, and coming in first game there and showing him why. he was a great decision for this team to pick up. As Constellation start bringing another offensive push, Unsound off a backflip ninja roll from the roof, tries to send one in a little bit low there on the shot, not able to connect. Cats is going to break it up and send it right back out. Can't quite clear the neutral zone. It's still over on the orange side as here comes the Constellation. The clear chain was looking to, offensive clear chain was basically looking to come through there, overshoots. Works well to get back there on another defensive chain back, and then we've got the Constellation here pressing the offense inside the bubble. Toki sending one over to Unsound, and Unsound's going to sail in from the far side pillar, inverted for 2 points there off a great read from Toki.
Yeah, really nice read, a great feed there, finding them along the floor, able to get that 2 points in there. Still just a one-score game, though, with a full 2 minutes to play, which in this match feels like an eternity with the way that we've seen flurries go off. So Charlotte Smoke now resetting on a joust advantage, looking to get themselves back into the scoring column.
That's right, 2 minutes left here. Still anybody's game. Shorty on a good send there across the center. Can't quite find the cut pass. Knockdom's going to pick up the trash there, send it right back in, and Draco Mako hanging out by the nest is going to snag that, send it right back down. Long push. Toki on the offensive chain, picks it up, takes advantage of the empty goal, and then just like that, they're back up by 6. Great play by Draco and a great read to send it high and through the center.
Yeah, great read there, able to find that assist, and they get the 3 points, and that's so important. It's still a 2-score game, but now it's a 2 3-point game, and as we come up on a minute left to play, that's really putting the pressure on the Charlotte Smoke to not only find a shooting avenue, but they really would like to find something outside the bubble here.
Yeah, they've got to get a couple long shots here to go ahead and close this down. They've got a minute left, still time for them to take this game to a tie and potentially a win there as the Constellation come right back. Toki on the stun out there for the defender. Great read there to go for the stun and then pick up the loose disc. Tries to send it down along the bottom. Nice bounce out there by the Smoke. We got ourselves a loose disc in the near side tunnel. Here comes the defensive chain already right back to get it. Unsound, a nice pickup. Send it through. Nobody's home. The defensive chain is going to pick it up with Cats and looks like knocked him over there on the far side. Looking to find somewhere to go with this. They've got 30 seconds, just enough time to put 2 on maybe. They are quickly running out of time.
Yeah, they certainly are. Valiant effort here. I don't think with the amount of time left with the reset, they're going to have it here down by 6. But wow, what a great match. This level of competition is exactly what we hope to bring to the viewers as we decided to broadcast the AAA matches. And thank you, Smoke. Thank you, Constellations, for bringing us a great match tonight.
Yeah, both these teams, nothing to be ashamed of. This was an outstanding match to watch and a great way to start Series 2. Great game to both of you guys. Super proud. It was an awesome game to watch. And the Constellation are going to walk away here with a win, 31-25 over the Charlotte Smoke. Yeah, and rolling into the end of this match here. I mean, we've saw some outstanding gameplay by both these teams. Give you a quick wrap up here before we get on to our last match of the night. But the Constellation just doing it. For all the shots that they had that were hitting that were dinging the goal, I think they made up for that by just doing some great work on the defensive side of the house and really getting those clears out and getting the transitions. And they did a great job of forcing turnovers there in the neutral zone. Brutus, what do you got?
Yeah, agreed, Nails. There were what seemed to be open goal opportunities throughout this match, and defensive stacks were getting back just in time. I think what separated this fourth quarter and really what set the Constellations up for the victory here was they were finally able to hit a couple of those threes. So it was just beating the timing of the defensive stack, or it was finding the accuracy on the shots where we did see some missed threes earlier in the match. When it really counted, when they needed to establish that lead, they were able to put things out of hand by hitting a couple of late three-pointers there, and that's going to be the difference here. But again, both of these teams right in it until the end, which is exactly what we hoped for. Super exciting. But at the end of the day, I think it was those fourth quarter three-pointers that really set this one apart.
Yeah, and that, I mean, we had a force to be reckoned with over on the Constellation side of the house. I mean, Icy, Toki doing some great support work there and feeding Draco Mako. Unsound especially doing some great feeds and also running the offensive side of the disc, looking to beat up the orange side bubble, but really just making some great reads, like Draco Mako just being super quick to get down the other side of the arena on those chains with either him and Icy or him and Toki. And just, I think, some great arena awareness coming out of the Constellations. If I had to name an MVP, tempted, I mean, Draco Mako, dude, just been crushing it. You want to enter the Dragon, but I think the only thing that sets Draco Mako and Unsound apart was that I think Unsound was just doing some phenomenal work there as goalie and defense. And there were a number of times I saw him really breaking up those plays. Specifically, I think that was him with the leech, where 1v2 to fight and claw his way to the disc in a transition play, and then immediately turn it back around. That I think they walked away there with. It was either a 2 or 3 pointer off of that series, and it was phenomenal. So I think between Draco Mako and Unsound, I think Unsound's going to edge him out just by a hair, just based on the defensive work he was doing as well as the offensive work for today. But Draco Mako, hats off to you as well, just been crushing it, and the entire Constellations team. What about you, Brutus?
Yeah, I can't argue. I went alphabetical order in the first match. I'll go reverse alphabetical order here in the second match. So, yeah, I got no arguments with Unsound. I remember that play that you're talking about. He leached a stack to get back on defense and was able to slap it back through the tunnel and stop what looked like a really good scoring opportunity for the Charlotte Smoke and turn it into points for the Constellations. So, yeah, I think you're right. Getting it done on both ends. That's not to take anything away from what Draco Mako was doing. A super job just to get his team in the right places and to get the goals when they needed them. But I think all in all, what I'm going to take from this is just the exciting, aggressive defensive style of both of these teams that kept it such a close match throughout. Man, if that was match 2, I am super excited to see what match 3 is going to bring.
Yeah, I may need to take a quick nap before match 3 starts here. Get some water, maybe like at the brow, because we've seen 2 great matches so far. We got a third one on the way. Everybody's super hyped here at the beginning of the season. And again, these are teams. This match we just watched between the Constellation and the Smoke. Again, great game to both of them. But these are 2 teams you're going to want to watch for the rest of the season and keep a close eye on. You're going to want to watch all of them, I know, but you're going to keep a close eye on both these teams because the performance we saw tonight, if that continues for the rest of the season, you're looking at the teams that are going to be working their way in there into the playoffs and potentially the championship. Just a phenomenal job.
Yep, you're going to want to watch all its teams. The 2 teams you're going to watch next, do not go far. We got the Scranton Royals taking on the St. Charles Lions. In just a minute, we'll take it to a word for our sponsor and pick our stream back up for match number 3.
And we'll be right back. We'll see you in a second. See ya. For real this time. And welcome back. We are here for the third and final match of the night. We've got the Scranton Royals versus the St. Charles Lions. And get ready to do the thing. We've seen two great matches so far. If you missed the last one, it was barn burner. Go back and watch it again. But not right now. Keep watching this one because this one's the most important. But we've got the Scranton Royals facing off against the Lions in their first matchup there for the AAA Pro Series 2. And Brutus, tell us about them.
Tell you about them indeed. Scranton Royals checking in. New York Kings AAA side, they are bringing to the house. Well, I mean, again, they've got to scrim and play with their pro team affiliate building up to this match. So you know they're coming in strong. They're bringing Babs, Psychaotic, Cool Whip, and Mistakey to the match tonight. So super excited about that. Shout out to Cool, who's a member of our production staff, of course. So super excited to get to see her play. And then over on the St. Charles Lions side, again, they are the Nashville Legends AAA squad. They are showing up with Arrow Knight, Knife Rich, Wiggles, and Risen. So looks to be, again, evenly matched. Expecting another tight matchup here. If it is anything like match 2, Nails, I just hope my heart can take it because we've seen some great stuff tonight, and we're going to get a third match.
That's right. Don't worry, buddy. If you pass out from heart failure, I'll keep the show going.
Yeah, sounds good.
No,
keep
no
the
cast,
handy.
no cast left behind, my friend.
Yeah.
And somebody in the chat, tell me, is it Mistaki or Mistakey, or are we both wrong?
You can just say Brutus is right if that's easier.
Yeah, or tell us how to say it, and then also just say Brutus is right so it feels better.
Oh, great. It's neither. Yeah, perfect.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. Yes.
Mr. K.
Oh,
Mistock A. Mistock A.
What would we do without our fans, Nails?
Well, thank you. We're back. Now that we've solved that Scooby-Doo mystery of how to say your name, Mistock A.
What would we do without fans of NEPA TV? We have no fans personally, but what would we do without the fans of NEPA TV?
Yeah, there it is. As both teams get readied up here.
Getting things set up, getting things readied up. We are going to get right back into this action. For those just joining us, just to get you recapped, we saw the Ottawa Frost take out the Daytona Tide in our first matchup tonight. Good matchup, super great gameplay in that one. The second match, which saw the Charlotte Smoke fall to the Baton Rouge Constellations, was as close of a match as you were ever going to see with some great defensive play. So if you're looking to study up on defense, take a look on that one. And now we are going to get started here, Nails, with our third match of the night, the Royals taking on the Lions. Let's go, let's go!
And we're out. What up, B-Love? I see you in the chat, buddy. Good pickup there, and as we've seen, characteristic of all night, both teams coming out swinging, very, very aggressive. As the Lions have dropped a player, they're now playing a 3-man roster. Somebody's falling out here. We'll see how they recoup for this. Knife Rich going to pick it up, slow it down, and look for some opportunities here. Getting pressured by Psychaotic over there in the near side trap. Doing some good juke moves. Looking to slow it down, buy as much time as possible until their fourth player can get back into the game. Arrow Knight's going to pick it up, roll over to the bow tie. Sailing long, again, moving it very, very slow. Some great control here by the Lions, some great concentration, and great route awareness as Arrow Knight with the windmill is going to wing one in, 17 meters per second at 6 meters out.
Yeah.
As a timeout gets called here, and we wait for the fourth player to get back in.
Yeah, nice use of the timeout there, and yeah, not to be upset by the loss of a player. They had somebody drop out, but they didn't lose their focus, and Arrow Knight able to turn that one into 2 points. And then I really like the use of the timeout here, try and get that fourth player back in so they can keep playing.
And Phenom, I saw you in the chat. You said my stocky. Well, now I've got like 3 different pronunciations, and I feel like maybe you guys are trying to confuse us on purpose now. Is now I'm not as sure as I was before. We're gonna go with Miss Stock A.
Yeah, what I mean, or we could just like rolling just take rolling guesses and maybe we'll get one of them right every once in a while or something. Yeah, I don't know.
It just spent 4 quarters just brutalizing a player's name. Not like we haven't done that before.
Yeah,
on,
right.
You guys know us. This is pretty standard for us.
Yeah.
Give us a difficult name, we're gonna probably screw it up.
I'm more worried about Carl's comment. I want a good, clean match, no funny business. I hope he's talking about the players because you and I don't know anything but funny business. So we're just going to have to shut this thing down if that's off limits.
Yeah. And there you have it. Based off of that, we're going to go ahead and just cancel the stream. You're welcome.
Oh, wait. JDG is saying Nails was right. JDG. No,
Yeah.
that can't be possible.
Boom.
Yeah.
Boom. Mistake. Well,
Yeah.
technically somebody told me that. So. And we are off. Timeout's over. We've got a 4v4 back in the mix with the joust advantage. Here comes the Royals. Babs on the quarterback. Nice jump there to the ceiling. Nice send over to Psychaotic. And we're seeing some good passing already coming out of the Royals here with good possession and disc control. Mistake sends right back to Psychaotic on a good read down to Babs. No idea. The Cool Whip is going to wing that in for 2 points. Nice work, Cool. Taking it to a tie game.
Cool, keeping it cool. Haven't heard any complaints about the pronunciation or enunciation of Cool Whip.
Cool Whip.
Tying things up. Love it. Here we go. Joust advantage now for St. Charles.
Good pickup there on the quarterback. Knife Rich dodging the incoming defensive chains, looking to try and break up that play coming out of the tunnels. Knife is going to try and get it loose there. Mistake on a great read, underhands it down to the bottom of the bubble. Good pickup there. Defense comes back. Rizen's going to stun out Cool Whip before she can get there. But Mistake is going to pick up that loose disc, do some shucking and jiving over the Geos, try to work the way in. Can't quite get there. Here comes the offensive chain. Gets broken up a little bit there. And they are going to transition to a little bit slower pace here as the Lions look to get all 4 players over to the orange side of the arena and collect themselves for an offensive push. Sends over to the near side pillar. Knife Rich going to pick up the bounce there off the wall. Sends it right back to the ceiling to Arrow Knight. Arrow Knight looking from the nest, decides to dump it off to Risen. Risen from the floor on a great read. Threads the needle there to the bottom pocket for 2 points, taking them right back up by 2.
Really like what the Lions did there to spread out the arena, right? It's a big arena. There's lots of space to be had, but you've got to get your spacing right so that you have good passing lanes. They were able to make it happen there. They spread out. They got passing lanes open. They're able to get the assist across, and it turned it into a 2 point. So they're now up 4-2 here. 5 minutes to play in the first quarter.
And it's not going to take long here to close this gap. We've been seeing close games all night there with a long send. Looking to clean it up there as the Lions look to work their way inside the bubble. Nice pass up there to Arrow Knight. Inverted again, doing some magic. Going to send it in. Confuse the goalie there by going upside down, or confuse me at least, by going upside down and send it in for another 2 points, taking up to a 4-point lead.
Did you invert yourself to see that goal in a proper orientation, Nails?
I did. You did not see me fall out of the chair.
Yeah, no, you weren't on cam at the moment, but I assume that's what you did. It's a good technique, but a nice juke there. Nice way to open up a shooting lane and make that pay. They're now up by 4 points.
And looking to hold on to that 4-point lead as the Royals trying to bring a offensive push here and close the gap. Knife Rich is going to pick that there inside the bubble, but it gets stymied there on the clear by the far side boot. Going to send it right back out. Here comes Babs looking to recollect there in the neutral zone. Can't quite get a hand on it before it gets slapped forward again. Good pickup there by Mistake. He's going to send it right back through the center there. Good read by Psychaotic, and it's just her and Cool Whip going to the races here as their Cool Whip slows it down, waiting for the rest of the team to show up. Good crossover to Babs. Babs looking for options. Sends it to the near side of Psychaotic. Comes off the wall. Sends it down to the near far side pillar. Mistake working away around the left shoulder. The far side shoulder is going to dump it in for 2 points.
Dumps it for 2 points, indeed. Really like the reset pass there. Cool Whip showing the patience. Gets that set back to, how do we pronounce it, Nails?
Mistake.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we saw, and they're able to get that for another cross and get it in for the goal. So I like the patience on offense there. Royals really showing patience, getting that one done.
Oh, the quick answer there from Risen. Going to send a long shot, 18 meters. take a quick bounce there, and for 3, taking them right back up by 5.
Yeah, just beating the defensive stack there. Royals could see that happening. They were trying to get back, and they were just a shade behind the timeline they needed to be on. Really nice goal there.
Mistake, nice read. Sends it down there to Cool Whip. Cool Whip's going to bring it back. Mistake posts up there just in the near side trap. He's going to send it right back down to the bottom to Babs. Babs doing some magic there on the floor. Tries to send it back across a little bit aft there on the pass. We got ourselves a loose disc as Arrow Knight picks it up. Is going to end up looking to clean it right back out. Slowing it down here, we see the Royals looking to reattempt here an offensive push. Psychotic sends it right back over to Babs. He's going to dump it right back to Psychotic. Psy's moving in. Trying to send it over there to the far side shoulder and gets rejected. I think that was by Risen, who sends it right back out. Wiggles all by herself is going to pick that up, start flowing forward. Nice read there on Arrow Knight to pick up the bounce. It wiggles to Arrow for 3, taking him up by 8.
What a nice set there. I want to point out there the Lions' patience on defense. You could see that the Royals were trying to bait them out of the bubble, but they stayed disciplined. They maintained their defensive posture as far as shutting down passing lanes. Looked for an opportunity to seize possession, and when they get the possession, Arrow Knight able to make them pay. Take this out to an 8-point lead, but really nice defensive patience there.
Oh, and a nice answer from the Royals. Not to be daunted here. Getting another 2 points back on the board to take it right back into a 6-point game here with under a minute left to play in the first quarter. Good answer. Not getting razzled here by the large point lead. Still plenty of time left in this game for both these teams, and plenty of time for the Royals to answer and close this gap.
Really liked the aggressiveness on that goal. The Royals didn't wait for that bubble defense to get set. They got the pass quickly into the bubble and shot quickly and able to turn that into points. I like that strategy against this bubble defense that the Lions are putting up.
That's right, and a great turnover there by Mistake, send it right back inside the bubble. Lions aren't quite able, the Royals aren't quite able to collect and dump that in. We got one more shot opportunity here for the end of the first quarter. Babs looking for a send along the floor. Cool Whip for 2! No dice. For 3. No dice is going to take a bad bounce there. And we will end the first quarter here with a 6-point game with the Royals 6, the Lions 12. We'll take you to a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Can I just call them all day?
Welcome back. Don't forget, they're all season long. NEPA will be issuing POAPs to anyone who shows up to live broadcast and fills out the claim form with the secret password. This week's secret password is Pro Series Week 1. You can find the form on our website. Each week we'll be highlighting a different franchise with the POAP logo. Show up each week and collect all 16 teams. The more you collect, the more potential rewards you can unlock. And the deadline to submit that form is 9 p.m. Eastern on Sunday, June 12th. Don't forget, Pro Series Week 1 is a secret password. Don't share it with anybody who's not watching.
It's secret.
It's secret. On the neutral joust here, as the Lions are going to win the neutral joust, but the Royals are going to break it up at the midfield, and Babs on a long distance 3 from the floor, 23 meters, closing this already down to a 3-point game with just under a minute into the series second quarter. Dude, I cannot use my words today. What is wrong with me?
Yeah, words are tough. Hey, when you have a neutral joust, how do you win it? Like Babs did.
Yeah,
Babs just won the neutral joust. I love it.
Knife Rich going to slow it down here as the Lions look to hold on to this lead here, play a little bit more controlled. Good pushback there. They're getting harassed by the defense. Not quite able to make it happen. Risen off a nice juke from the ceiling. Tries to send it over to Arrow Knight. A little bit low. We got ourselves a loose disc. Going to get picked up by Cool Whip. She's going to slap it away. Can't quite get it through the neutral zone. Going to get turned right back around by the Lions as they're pressing back inside the bubble. Again, Cool Whip doing some great work. Going to pick up that loose disc. And this time wings it through the far side tunnel. Here comes the offensive stack. They're going to overshoot, and Arrow Knight's going to pick up there the loose disc. Not quite able to capitalize on the empty goal there, but nice. Again, Cool Whip. Sticky gloves everywhere. She is everywhere. Everywhere. Pass it off to Sai. Sai's going to send it over to Mistake. Mistake's going to send it inside to the clock, but nobody's home. As looks like Arrow Knight, I think, is going to clear that out on the far side tunnel. Wiggles there to pick it up. She tries to send it in. Babs on a great read is going to grab that and stop that offensive push, but not before the Lions can turn it right back around. Babs again doing some great work, going to pick up that read there on the interception. And here comes the Royals after doing a great job here of stunning out the defensive chains for the Lions. Try to work their way back inside the bubble. Not going to be able to do anything with that as we got ourselves another loose disc over here in the near side tunnel. Waiting for the stacks to come in as everybody's stunning everybody out. Here comes Risen. Can't quite connect on an empty goal. Just a little bit low. That's got to be frustrating. But great work by Risen on the read there to get forward and pick up that loose disc.
Mail slot was closed. I want to highlight Babs here. Babs opening the quarter up with that three-pointer off the neutral jousting and a couple of great defensive plays there. A 7-point equivalent quarter so far for Babs with the 2 defensive stops in addition to that three-pointer. Great play.
As Knife Rich doing some dancing, and it's going to send it down behind the goal to Risen off a great read. Risen on the cut pass. He's going to dump it in for 2 from behind the goal. And that'll take him back up to a 5-point game. And coming out on a joust advantage, here come the Royals. Still doing their best to try and close this gap down. Doing some good work. A couple missed opportunities there, but still, again, plenty of time left, and I think they've got the right mix here of strategy. So they just got to make some of those goals connect there inside the bubble, then close this gap in no time. Mistake sending one down, doing some great work using the geos there to evade some of the defenders, but not enough there for Arrow Knight. Arrow Knight's going to stay persistent, stun out the offense, and then clear through the far side tunnel. Babs tries to get rid of it. Arrow Knight again on the angry play. It's going to break up Babs's push back to the blue side of the arena and then recover for his team as Arrow Knight drops it back to Knife Rich. Knife Rich is going to bring it in from the back line. Looking to phone a friend here as all 3 of the other players for the Lions are inside the bubble. Risen coming in from the ceiling, sends it long. It's like Knife Rich is going to pick that up. Arrow Knight's going to grab it, try to come in from the floor. No dice, gets slapped out by the Royals as they try to get a clear. Again, not quite an effective clear. We've seen those ineffective clears just eat teams up all last season. If you can't get it through the neutral zone, you're consistently playing defense. Able there on the reattempt to make it happen. Mistake is going to bring it into the bow tie, send it over to Sai. Sai dumps it to Babs, and Cool Whip's going to try and take up the back line. Arrow Knight says no way. It's going to send it right back over to their side of the arena.
Defensive stack is where it needs to be, though. Cool Whip's going to make the collection. Look to get things reset a little bit. Love the patience here. Try and set up the offense. A lot of frantic play there. One of these teams needs to kind of take control, establish a little bit of momentum, and just continue its possession. Just like that, they put themselves in a scoring opportunity. And Babs finishes with the dunk nails. We love those. The patient pays off as Babs scores the 2.
That was the most patient dunk I've ever seen in my life. The in, the out, the read, the left, the right, the juke, and I'm in. Just making it happen. Very, very patient, and knowing that those points need to get on the board in order to close this gap down, and that patience paid off. Just like you said, an Arrow Knight coming through the far side tunnel, unopposed. It's like, that Cool Whip is going to go over. Nope, Mistake is going to go over and start harassing Arrow Knight, force a pass there. Knife Rich is going to pick it up, send it over to Wiggles. She's coming in from the near side, looking for a friend, sends it over to the far side shoulder to Arrow Knight. Arrow Knight's going to dump it to the center to Knife. Knife can't connect, but gets it back to Arrow Knight. Arrow Knight's going to dump it in for 2, taking him right back to a 5-pointer.
Yeah, really nice play there. The assists are all exactly where they need to be. Arrow Knight and Risen so far the only scorers, though, over on the Lions side. They're getting it done. They are up by 5, but I love the way the team is playing together. They're finding their hot hands. They're feeding the disc where it needs to go to get those points on the board. Working really, really well for them. That's something for the Royals to kind of keen in on, that those two are primarily providing all the points tonight.
That's right, and that's going to require there a change-up, but not before they bring an offensive push here with Mistake. Bringing it in there off the double clear from Sai. Sai's going to get it through the tunnel, pick it right back up from Mistake. Right back to Mistake. Mistake to Babs, and Babs with more dunk meta on the NBA Jam from the floor for 2 points, and they're back within 3. They need a back-to-back goal here to close this out and tie this game, rolling into the halftime. That is so important for the momentum.
Yeah, it is. It's super important. We know how momentum plays into this game, but just finding that goal alone, I think, is going to give them a little bit to latch onto going into halftime. We didn't want things to get too far out of hand. I mean, this is a one-score game at this point, so a really important goal there. Love the back and forth going on in this match right now.
Yeah, and Faye's saying in the chat that this is the first time, first day that the Royals have ever played with each other as a complete team here. So huge hats off to them coming in, and you can see their chemistry improving as the game goes on. Those good solid passes, the connects, good reads there, only a couple missed passes, and then getting those stacks back on defense very, very quickly. You saw multiple times there, we had some good clears coming out of the Lions as they tried to push it back over to the orange side of the arena, and the defensive stack was there to meet it. 13 seconds here left as Knife Rich and the Lions go hunt for 2 more points on the board here as Risen sends it in over to Arrow Knight, and Arrow Knight's going to dump it in for 2 to take us to the end of the half, back up by 5. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with some more Echo.
This summer, dinosaurs are in our world.
Pet dinosaur? Don't worry. I'll take care of you. Nice and quiet. Hey, look, it's your mom. Hot dog?
Harley-Davidson builds bikes that are meant to ride. There are vehicles your parents would recommend you drive. Then there are the motorcycles your crazy uncle who gave you fireworks for your birthday tells you to ride. You wouldn't want to let your uncle down, would you? If your need is speed, chrome, and custom paint, check out all of the new and pre-owned bikes at Greenmount Road Harley-Davidson in O'Fallon, Illinois. Don't let your uncle down. Get to Greenmount.
And welcome back. Just a reminder, NEPA is going to Web3 and will be issuing NFTs as a way to reward you, the community, here at Echo. Anyone who claims one of these NFTs will be eligible for future raffles and giveaways. You can see on the screen some of the giveaways and raffles we've already had. You read that right. That was a all-expense paid trip to the next LAN event for 2 that got given away at this last raffle, as well as some player mats and some gift cards to burn over there at the NEPA swag store. That will be conducting these throughout the entire season. They're going to be free to claim, and all you have to do is fill out a claim form that can be found at www.nepavrpro.com/NFT. We've got some good stuff planned, some fun stuff planned. We're still trying to talk them into giving some free Timmy Hortons away. Stay tuned on that. I'll talk to management and see what they've got. No promises, but everybody loves some Timmy Hortons breakfast, me especially. So if we can get some free stuff, you may see me in the raffle as well. So don't miss out. Pick up your NFTs and get on these PO apps. Back to the game. Brutus, first half, like it has been a nonstop shootout here between both these teams. We got the Royals versus the Lions. The Lions have been doing their utmost to just hold on to this 5-point lead, and the Royals are really just one back-to-back scoring run from closing it up to a tie game.
Yeah, I mean they're right there. They're doing everything that they need to be to stay in this match. When they take patience on the offensive side, when they actually set up their spacing to take advantage of the space that's available in the arena, they're getting themselves in position and are making the goals count. I think really just the difference has been Arrow Knight and Risen really getting things done offensively, both inside and around the bubble over on the orange side. They're doing a really nice job there, and that's why you see the score differential that you do. But everything is in place for the Royals to continue to have success here. I think they've just got to have that patience. When they set up their offense, when they find the passing lanes and they put themselves into a position to score, they're able to do so. It's only a 5-point match. This could go either way, Nails. Both of these teams playing at a very high level.
Yeah, and like you said, I mean, I think on the Lions, the two big factors are Arrow Knight and Risen. And Wiggles and Knife Rich are doing an amazing job. I think that the reason they're able to hold on to this 5-point lead here is you've got Arrow Knight and Risen doing some great work. We've got Knife Rich just doing some great feeds and assists, and I think that's really enabling Arrow Knight and Risen to put those points on the board. Arrow Knight has been doing an outstanding job of just delivering stunts and breaking up plays. The thing I like on the stats about the Royals is that you've got points spread across 3 players. So you've got Babs with 9, Cool with 2, and Mistake with 2. And you've got Psychotic feeding a lot of great assists and just managing the forward flow of that disc for the Royals, and she's just been killing it. And we got stuns there across the board. So like you said, it's very minor variables here that are keeping them from closing this 5-point gap, and it's still anybody's game at this point. A couple more connects on the Royals team inside the bubble to get those 2-pointers or one long 3-pointer. We're going to see a very different match here in a hurry.
Yeah, but plenty of time left. They need to continue to show that patience where they found success. Cool Whip stands out in my mind as somebody who grabs the disc but doesn't necessarily look straight to goal, looks for the reset, looks to get the offensive setup. They need to continue with that mentality and just take advantage of the time remaining in this match to slowly crawl back at the deficit they're fighting, not try and put it all into one basket and score too aggressively, if you will.
Yeah, and the as we always see, if they got to keep a good eye on that point differential, because if it gets too wide, they're definitely going to have to really turn up the aggressiveness to start taking a little bit more risk to put those points on the board if they want to close this out with a W for this game. As Arrow Knight comes working it in from the bow tie, good read over to Knife Rich, and Knife Rich is going to take a quick spin around the far side pillar to shake some defense and then dump it in for 2.
Dumping in for 2, 4 assists leading up to that one, and now getting onto the board. Knife Rich with 2 takes it out to a 7-point lead. Still plenty of time left. Not the start to the half that the Royals were looking for, but still plenty of time. I think they still stick with that same strategy, and here we see them stringing together some nice passes. Here's a reset. They're looking to spread out in the arena. That's exactly what we talked about. Try and stress that Lions defense and put themselves into an advantage.
Yeah, and to that point, about spreading it out, it's very difficult to kind of keep that spread. You'll see teams as they come across the neutral zone. Nice push there to Cool Whip from Mistake for 2 points. Nice read from the ceiling, and Cool Whip's going to float in from the far side and take advantage of that open goal. Take advantage of that 1v1 as the goalie went out to attack Mistake and dump it in for 2, taking us back to a 5-point game. But at the middle of the arena, it's very easy to keep that spacing, but everything's going to funnel into the bubble and to the goal, and it takes a lot of discipline, a lot of coordination, a lot of chemistry to kind of keep your team spread out on either side of the arena, to give yourself options as you get inside the bubble so that you don't fall prey to that bubble defense that just crowds the entire bubble.
Yeah, but when you can exhibit that kind of discipline, it pays off, and that's exactly what we saw on that last goal. Here we get another goal for the Lions, taking it up to 22 points as Risen takes the assist from Arrow Knight, puts that one back in, takes it back to a 7-point lead.
Coming out with the joust advantage to Royals. Looking to change the tide here. A little bit of a strategy. See if we can get a little bit of strategy change here out of the Royals as they're still trying to make their kind of initial strategy work here. May need to change it up a little bit just to kind of confuse the defense. Find a little bit more time, and just like that, that's exactly what they do. Mistake taking a nice long shot from 7 meters for 2 points. He's going to find that corner pocket there for the goal, and then take him right back up by 5. Probably hunting for a 3 there, but 2 points is just as good when you're down trying to close that gap.
Yeah, closing the gap, but really taking advantage of the space of the arena. I like the offensive rollout there from the Royals. They spread things out. They strung together 3 or 4 passes there, and they get Mistake in position to take that shot. They close it back to within 5 points. That's exactly what they need to continue. Right now, they need to get it done on defense.
And that ain't going to cut it. This knife comes in from underneath the barrier. Is going to dump it in for a quick 2 points inverted. And we've got right back where we were at the first quarter. We've got shot for shot, goal for goal, answers to questions. But at this point, when you're down, that only works when you're in a tie here. So they need to do a good job here of breaking up these plays on the transition as Sai brings it in on the offense here as they're looking for an answer. Cool Whip dumps it right back to Sai. Sai shaking a defender into the pillar. Mistake out of nowhere comes in like a ghost and dumps it in for 2. Goalie on the late read there coming out to meet Mistake, not quite fast enough, and that'll put him back up.
Oh, what a nice goal that was. Mistake looked like got it done with a backhand there, able to close it in, put it into the back of the net. But that's what we talk about. They spread out the arena. They strung together those 3 or 4 passes, but they didn't allow the Lions to set up that bubble defense. They're able to get the goal by continuing, once they got possession, to just transition that right into an offensive set. So really like what they did there. Now they've got to figure out things on defense because they can't trade goals here with just 3 minutes left in the third quarter.
And just like that, Babs trying to get it clear, picks up the loose disc, but Knife is there to pick it up. Here comes Sai trying to harass the offender, can't quite get there in time. A nice pass off there to Arrow Knight, who's inverted in the ceiling. Going to dump it down to Wiggles. She's coming in from the far side, tries to send it, and it looks like Sai, nice read, gets shaken initially, and going to come right back and pick up the defense there, break up the play. Here comes the 2-man offensive chain, rolling in, trying to finish that goal. Can't quite make it happen, but Cool Whip's going to whip it good, pick up that clear, and try to send it right back over to the far side. Clear here coming out of the Lions. We've got an empty goal, and Knife is going to pick up that clear. Defense isn't able to get there in time, taking them up by 7.
Yeah, end up with a loose disc there in the bubble, and it's going to be the offensive chain that wins there. Nice goal. Knife Rich picks it up, able to score it in from 2 meters before the defense can recover. They take it back to that 7-point lead.
The Royals here looking for an answer to this Lions offense. I think they've got an answer to the defense, but when you're down points, you need an answer to both. And here comes Mistake looking to feed over to Sai. Sai on a good read there, but Cool Whip gets stunned out there by the defense. Good pickup there by Babs on the recollect. Tries to send it back over to Sai. Sai's going to dump it over to Mistake. Mistake moving into the bubble, doing some juking and jiving, some razzle and some dazzle for 2 points on a great read there on the defense, taking them back up to 5. Still about as close as they've been for about the last 2 quarters of this game.
Yeah, and the Lions have been so good at that bubble defense. You could tell that the Royals were looking to push that. They were looking to score quickly, but it didn't work out. They couldn't quite connect on the cross. But Mistake, instead of looking for the additional pass and giving that extra time for the Lions to set up that defense, just takes it right off of the post to the goal and able to score that one in. So I like scoring quickly there to try and negate that aggressive defense in the bubble.
Yep, and you meet that aggressiveness with aggressiveness, and that's exactly what Mistake did. Coming out on the joust advantage, the Lions there, a good pickup by Knife Rich, looking to feed it back inside the bubble. Here comes Wiggles from the ceiling, gets stunned out. Mistake going to grab the disc, looking to clear it out, tries to send it through the near side tunnel, gets caught in the trap there. Arrow Knight's going to pick up the loose disc And those clears are what's hurting them. Got to get those through the tunnel there. Give yourself some room to breathe. As Knife Rich is doing some acrobatics there around the shield, trying to work around the defense, is going to get 2 in there, taking us to under 30 seconds here in the third quarter.
Yeah, Phenom, you're right. Mistake got moves, but Knife Rich got moves too. So, yeah, there's a good back and forth of juking and jiving going on here right now. 7 points. We're going to close this third quarter out with that 7-point lead, it looks like. But back and forth, either team can take this one. Man, I can't wait to see this fourth quarter, Nels.
Still got 1 quarter left here. Was that Jim Cotta we saw on a Knife Rich over the shield? Pretty sure that was Jim Cotta. It's a gymnastic space martial art. You should Google it. Anyways, we'll take you to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
If you really want to find out what you're made of, you can forget the personality tests and social media quizzes. Because the only way you're ever going to know is by heading into the big, wild, raging, so damn beautiful it hurts world and finding out for yourself. Were you born to follow a path, or were you born free? These are the things we thought about when we made the new Grand Cherokee. Made for what you're made of.
And we're back. As looks like there is a quick pause here. And who is that who fell out? Looks like Risen fell out over on the line side. We're going to try and get the fourth player back in.
Yeah, I think that's not Risen's first issue of the night. Maybe just don't want to reset, re-enter. It works for all of us a time or two. Nels, what a great third quarter that we saw. Again, like just been back and forth all match. Royals not quite able to close the gap. They're obviously sitting down here 7, but they're showing that capability. They're continuing to be disciplined about their offense, and I like that. They're setting things up. They've realized that the Lions are looking to establish that bubble defense, so they're going for quick goals. But when they don't get the quick goal, they're not afraid to reset it and get themselves back into their offensive flow. I think that's so important. I know it's the fourth quarter, but there's still 8 minutes to play, and 8 minutes versus 7 points is a ton of time in Echo Arena. So I think they just stick with their strategy and continue to try and take advantage of scoring opportunities when they have them, because they don't want to wait and play too patient of a game to where the Lions can set up that bubble defense.
Yeah, and I mean, that's a great point. I think the two differences here we're kind of seeing in both these teams, and, you know, not good, bad, better, or worse, but I think what I really like about the Royals defense, or excuse me, Royals offense, is that when they're pushing inside the bubble and they are not able to get to that goal, they fall back and they're ready to snatch those clears straight out of midair with some great interceptions, and then immediately able to reset and continue the attack. And that is what is going to get them the W in this game, is continue to do that. I think on the Lions side, what we see out of them is if they come in and they don't get the shot, we typically are seeing the Royals pick up that loose disc. But what's really been foiling them and allowing the Lions to take another shot at the goal is that they're not getting those clears out of their side of the arena. They're usually getting bottled up either by Geos or in the trap, and they can't quite get those clears out. And then the Lions are able to take advantage of those errant bounces on those clears and just basically reset up an offense, versus the Royals, where they are actively denying those good clears out of the Lions and then attacking again. So they've just got to capitalize on that a little bit more and turn those into shots inside the bubble and close this gap down. And they don't need all 7 points right now, right? All they need is really a 5 or a 6 point lead, which is really, 5 or a 6 point run, which is really just 2 goals, right? To go ahead and just throw the Lions off of their momentum and just get a good momentum swing and allow them to close down those last 2 or 3 points once they swing that momentum.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed completely. Risen, of course, showing 0 stats across the board, so he's just not bringing anything to the table. No, this is the second time that he has
Under the bus.
he has dropped out and re-entered, so we're losing his stat line. What's really different there about the third quarter, though, is that Risen has gotten into the mix, right? So we saw the first half kind of dominated by Aeronite and Risen. Knife Rich really getting in on the act, kind of balancing that scoring across the Lions roster a little bit. I think that's the one thing that's going to set this fourth quarter up is the Royals have got to find a defensive answer, because it's not just Aeronite, it's not just Risen. Knife Rich has got an in on the action. They've got to slow the scoring. When the Royals can get in their offensive set, they're finding success. They've got to find that defensive success, so they've got to create turnovers. Still 8 minutes to play. It's a ton of time. It's plenty of time to score points, but they've also got to stem the bleeding. They've also got to establish that defensive disruption, start getting some steals, start getting some stuns that can create possessions for them so that they can do what they need to do on the offensive side.
That's right, and all they got to do is bottle up one of those players and, force them to rely on the other two, at least give them somewhere to, kind of aim some of that stun aggression and slow this offense down. As Sai on the great pickup there on the clear, tries to send it to the far side. Aeronite's going to jump to the ceiling and grab that. Good read. Got a good clear here, and on an overshoot, looks like the Royals are going to try to get there first, but Knife Rich is going to break it up and send it right back to Aeronite. Slow the play down. They'll reset as Aeronite comes in off the bow tie. Looking for an opportunity there for a pass. Dumps it down to Wiggles. She's going to do some dancing there on the floor. Look for somebody else. They're very, very much slowing it down here. The Royals need to start bringing the pressure on those plays so that they don't have as much time to think. And as Top Gun 2 just taught me, if you think, you're dead. So don't think, just do. Yoda also taught me that as well. And Yoda was a very wise person. Knife Rich, bounce it over to the near side, sends it over to Aeronite, and Aeronite's going to dump it into the center for 2. The defense can't quite get there and break up the play.
Yeah, really interesting set there, because we haven't seen a whole lot of Lions kind of setting up that bubble offense. Wow, what a great job they did. They put players at all 4 corners. They got 3 passes strung together and really came with an effective offensive set there to kind of set that goal up and get themselves into a scoring position there. They take the 9-point lead here. There's still 6.5 minutes to play. There's plenty of time, but they're stretching that lead out, Nails, to where we haven't seen the Royals have a whole lot of defensive success. So I assume this timeout is to kind of talk about that, how to break things up. They're going to have a good offensive rollout here. They're going to have a joust advantage coming off of that goal. But I think it's the defensive side they've got to fine-tune quick and start creating turnovers if they're going to have enough opportunities to score to overcome this deficit.
Facts right there, my friend. And, we saw in that rollout, just defensively, the Royals looked a little bit timid. Like they just weren't necessarily, and it looks like we got one fallout here in the Royals as...
Yeah, we got to switch over. We got some kind of discussion happening there, yeah.
Switch over, and I think the Royals just in that way, they're just a little bit timid on their defense. So you saw them they gave the Lions a little bit too much room to breathe. You saw the Lions had plenty of time to just kind of wait, and it's like they were waiting for the Lions to make a move, and they were just being very much a lot more reactive, right? And what they need to do is just be proactive, send those 2-player chains out there and start harassing that offense and force them to do something with the disc and force them to do it quickly so that they make a mistake and then pick up that errant disc or the loose disc and turn it right back into an offensive play. Again, the clears, if they can get those clears through, they've got the ability to get those quick chains together. They just have to be accurate with those clears, get them through once they break the play up, and they'll be right back off to the races to putting points on the board.
Yeah, I think very quickly here in the next, I'll call it the next 90 to 120 seconds, they're going to need to assume a greater amount of risk if they're going to have a chance to overcome the deficit they're sitting at. They're sitting at 9 points. There's time available. You don't want to totally abandon your strategy, but at the same time, in the next 90 seconds or so, you're going to have to assume some risk. I think they need to do that defensively. They've got to they've got to come with a more aggressive defense and disrupt plays out of the Lions to try and break things up like you're talking about to create offensive opportunities.
Wholesale agreed. Yeah, and if they can do that, and I mean at this point, right? Like to the risk discussion, what are you really losing, right? You're down 9. You've got to do something around the defense to break up those plays. You have to find something that works, and it may not work on the first play. You may have to try to get on something different on the next play. But at this point, you're just trying options to see what's going to work for you, and then once you find that, you run with it, and then you just start running up the score. Because we've seen their ability to get down to the other side of the arena and score. They just haven't been able to stop those offensive pushes, and that defense is where they're breaking down.
Yeah, and the Royals offense that has worked has been a fairly aggressive one. We have seen the Lions put up a very stout bubble defense. The Royals have found success when they've moved quickly into the bubble, found somebody in scoring position to get a good assist to, and then capitalize on that advantage in a finite amount of time. So I think what they need to do is really take the risk on the defensive side, create that turnover, and then look for the quick score. That's going to help them both from a clock advantage as well as a score advantage, right? So if I can get the goal, if I can get the points on the board, then that's great. They're going to have to do it in a timely fashion, though, because they can't continue to give up goals. Now that we've seen Knife Ridge getting in on the scoring side for the Lions, you can't continue to allow goals to accumulate on the Lions side and still have a chance for the comeback. So take that defensive risk, create the turnover. Let's see what they do with the rollout here as we get back into the action.
That's right. And all you guys out there in the chat, looks like we've got the Super Buddy name there on the Lions in place of Risen. I don't know if he's using Super Buddy's headset or if his headset is or internet is no longer functional and Super Buddy's actually playing for him. But if you know in the chat, sing out. But either way, we're back to a 4v4 now as Arrow Knight sends it over the Knife Ridge. And here comes that classic Lions offense. We'll see if the Royals can bring that bubble defense out to come and meet them. And they cannot, as Arrow Knight finds the angle again and sinks another 2.
Oh no, can ill afford to give up that goal. Now they find themselves down 11. Unsuccessful on that first rollout. Let's see if they can do something here on the offensive side. We still got plenty of time to play. We're not anywhere near the unable to overcome time limit that I cannot do math on. There's still plenty of time, but at the same time, you can't continue to give up goals unless you generate offense.
That's right, and here comes the offense now as Cy picks up that pass there to the back line, over to Babs at the ceiling. Babs taking the time, walking it in, and right to the back there is Mistake. Dunks it in. Arrow Knight's going to get a hand on it, but not enough to stop it, and they'll put 2 points on, but they need to continue to keep that pressure. They need to run that play again, come right out, break up this offensive play, force either hijack the quarterback or force it clear and intercept it, and then immediately turn right back around on the offense to catch them in transition. We'll see if they can make that happen.
Yeah, and we talked about the fact when you're playing from behind, you've got to take risk. I think you've got to take risk here. You've got to take it in the midfield, bring the defensive stacks, and try and disrupt play. You can't let the Lions continue to just reset and burn clock, and that's exactly what they do. They force a bad pass, and Cy Chaotic is there to pick it up for a 3-point. We are back within 6 nails. This is a 2-score game in the fourth quarter. Love it.
That's right, and that somebody go clip that and watch that series because you saw them come out and 2-man chains. They stopped at the midfield, then they waited, and then they jumped the quarterback, forced a pass, and then broke that up, forced a loose disc, slapped it back over to the blue side of the arena, and then capitalized on that turnover. By forcing that pressure and that missed pass, they were able to do exactly what they need to be doing this entire game here to close this gap. And then met it with a chain and put points on the board. And Super Buddy's going to come back, or Risen Buddy's going to come back with another 2-pointer there off a nice pass, feed from the far side. I'm going to go with Super Risen.
Yeah, we'll roll that.
We don't know who that is.
Super
Risen.
They take it back out to 8 points. There's still 3.5 minutes to play, but this is all important joust advantage here. Trying to get some points on the board, claw into that deficit a little bit, Let's see if the Royals can get something set up.
Arrow Knight on the breakup there. Can't clear it. Cool Whip's there to pick it up. Whip it good. Tries to send it in for 3. The defense is going to read that and hijack that shot. It sounds like in the chat is saying that is, in fact, Super Buddy. So Knife Rich off the clear pickup there, has a chain together. Going to put another 2 in, taking him right back out to 10 points. Still 2 minutes 45 seconds here left in the fourth quarter. They are rapidly running out of time. I don't do Dimwee math. I think there's still time.
Yeah, there's still time, but it changes your strategy entirely. So now you've got to take offensive risk. You have got to force the disc forward. You've got to look for 3-pointers. 10 points, 2.5 minutes. There's plenty of time. But again, Nails, this all came down to taking defensive risk, trying to create those turnovers. And the Lions doing a good job of looking for opportunities and putting points on the board. Because right now, the clock is in their favor.
And here comes the defensive chains on the way back. There to meet it, it's Mistake. Gets a great hand on it. Loose disc over on the near side. Super Buddy's going to send it up to Arrow Knight, who's been deadly the entire night. Oh! On an 8-meter from the far side, just underneath the shoulder. He's going to ding that in off a bounce for 2 points. And Arrow Knight has just been phenomenal tonight. Just making shots happen, finding the angle, finding the pockets. It's just dangerous to let him have the disc, and that's exactly what's happening. And if you're not immediately harassing him, he's going to be able to find that lane and put points on the board.
Yeah, absolutely. Both of these teams doing exactly what they should do. Love how they are playing out this fourth quarter. The Royals are taking risk when they can take risk. The Lions are not letting the pressure down, though, as we see Super Buddy put another 2 points on the board, stretching us out to 14 points. We got to that point where the Royals had to take risk. They took risk, and it didn't pay off. They paid for it. That's because the Lions were able to counter that aggressive style and find a way to put points on the board, and they're going to stretch this thing out to now a 14-point lead with 40 seconds left. I don't do Dimwee math either, but I think we are there. But I really like the way these two teams approach their strategy as we got inside of 5 minutes, I'll call it, inside of the game of play. How they played it, they pushed when they needed to, in the ways that they needed to. It's just going to be the Lions that find the winning side.
That's right, and I think if the Royals had kind of picked up that strategy in the third quarter, I think we would have potentially seen a different result here. But right now, the Lions are just on fire, and they can just bring everybody they got because they know time's up. And there you have it, 43-26. And the Lions are going to walk away with a W. And for those of you that didn't watch the entire game, the score doesn't show up, but this was a very close match for really about 3.5 quarters of this game until the last half of, call it half to 2/3 of quarter 4, where the Lions really started to pull forward in the lead here, and they're going to walk away with the W. Hats off to both teams. They did an amazing job. Excellent job by the Royals. They're only going to get better as the season goes on. They continue to find that chemistry. I think they learned a lot about how they play, where they want to play, and how to work their defense. I think they've got a solid offensive core. Just working on that defense is really going to pay off for them for the rest of the season. The Lions coming in, they've got it figured out. I think if they can get Rizen's internet issues settled, they are going to be a force to reckon with as well for the rest of this season as both teams come out swinging on our last match of the night. So congrats to the Lions. And I don't know that it's arguable or hard to figure out, but I think Arrow Knight is the MVP here for tonight's game. Just deadly from all over the arena. Again, great work to the rest of his team, feeding some great shots and passes to Arrow Knight to really put him in a good position to score. But he's a great shooter, period, dot. And it was able to make those very difficult shots happen where you give him a lane and you don't want to go out there and meet him because you want to force him to come in closer. But he's the kind of shooter where he can take the shot from where he's at and find those corners, and it was paying off for him the entire game.
Yeah, paid off indeed. There's no question on the MVP. Arrow Knight getting it done, leading the team, but making the shots when they absolutely had to happen. The score does not reflect the level of competition. You talked about it, how close this was through 3.5 quarters. These teams played the game the way it's meant to be played. And the Royals kept it close. When it started to get out of hand, they took risk in an appropriate place and time to do that, and it just didn't pay off. That's what you do. You play this game to win. The Royals came out to do that. They did the right things. They just couldn't get the points on the board, and they couldn't, more importantly, make the defensive stops that they had to make in order to make the comeback happen. But they played it to the wire exactly the way you would want it to be played, and I have so much respect for that. So hats off to the Royals, going home with a loss, but played the right way, played very, very well. They're going to be a team to contend with, no doubt. Lions going home with a victory, no doubt. Arrow Knight just getting it done in all facets, but at the end of the day, making the goals count when they had to have them. They built a little bit of a lead in the third quarter there, and then it just made it unrecoverable for the Royals in the fourth quarter there because of Arrow Knight's performance.
There you have it. And don't go anywhere. Well, tonight go somewhere because we're done here. But for tomorrow, we've got the first pro matchup of Series 2. We've got the Denver Raptors versus the Los Angeles Destroyers, near and dear to my heart. We've got the Phoenix Vipers, also near and dear to my heart, versus the Echo Club Kansas City. And then we've got Seattle Thunder versus the Dallas Knights on our first triple header matchup for Pro Series 2. With our pro team matchups. We will be with you again tomorrow night. Find us here. Don't forget to sign up for your POAPs and get those NFTs claimed. Thank you to the NEPA staff as well. Muted, crushing it on production tonight. Well done. Thank you very much. And round of applause for Muted. This is his first AAA broadcast here running the production and killed it. Well done, my friend. And thanks to Faye as well. Faye and I'm out there wrangling teams, getting us the spark links. And as always, Brutus, thank you to you, my friend, for casting with me. Thanks to Palador as well, who was here earlier. And thanks to all of you, the fans. And we will probably see you. And by probably, I mean definitely see you tomorrow night for our first pro matchup. See you then.